Hello, Twitch chat. How the devil are we? We are here for a very exciting September Nova Cup. And joining me once again on the casting panel, it is my hirsute Hermano. It is none other than Seto Kaiba. Welcome to the stream. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well today. Thanks again for having me. I think I've been off and on every time this year, or roughly just about.
Yeah, something like that. We've had a pretty good innings together. Yeah, we like to mix it up a bit with getting other guest casters on and all the rest of it. But you have absolutely been a staple of the casting couch this year, and the viewers have been all the better for it. I think a brilliant job you do on the monthly cast, Seto. So thank you again for joining me. So Seto, the first game that we have on show for the viewers today is going to be none other than Big Bro, Little Bro. That is, of course, Adams and Genom, or Isolde. I'll leave it up to the people at home to decide which one's the Big Bro and which one's the Little Bro. And they will be playing the Worse Moles. So, usually going under the moniker of Worse Poles, that is Fake One and Pakistan RQS. For whatever reason, they've decided to rebrand from Pole to Mole. We'll have to ask them more about that if they make it to the winner's interview. But what do you think about that matchup, Seto? Should be pretty exciting.
It should be pretty exciting. And in my time trying to research who was who for the Big Bro, Little Bro, I saw that while the Fake One hasn't played Isolde very much, they've not got a very good win rate against them. And the same goes for Pocky, whereas generally speaking, Adamas does not perform as well against Fake One and Pocky. So maybe Isolde is the Big Bro now? I'm not sure.
That's really interesting. Tell me more about Adam's performance issues. Is that something that's been going on for a while, or?
Oh no. Give me one
Oh,
second. Sorry.
oh no, the sound. It's the wireless headphones, guys. They never work the way you want them to. Here we go. There we go. Now we're wired in. Okay, so while Seto sorts his audio issues, hopefully we can get him back online. I guess I'll give my thoughts on the matchup between Worst Poles and Big Bro Lil Bro. So, Worst Poles, of course, they did take the tournament back in July, I think, before Pakistan actually went on military service for Poland. So, pretty interesting stuff. He may have just returned like an absolute giga chad, right? I'm sure all of those drill instructors were really focusing on improving his Legion game. We'll have to see how that impacts his performance here. But Seto, are you back online? Do you hear me now?
I do. I hear you loud and clear. So thank you
Phenomenal.
for that.
Fantastic.
A
Well,
little
just
bit of
just before you had problems with the earphones, I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about Adams's performance issues that he's been having lately. Now, is that something that happens to a lot of men his age, or?
Well, I mean, as you climb the ladder, of course, up in skill and experience, sometimes certain things start to fail you, and despite the experience, you got to press on, and maybe you get a little bit of aid here and there.
Mhm.
Perhaps there's something blue he can borrow to help him today. I mean, it's midday, so he's still spry and early, and I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's going to perform well. I mean, he's been under pressure before, but yeah, I think we're doing all right.
Excellent. Well, glad to hear it, and I'm sure Adams will not disappoint us here today. It's a pretty exciting matchup, honestly. I think Adams and Isolde, they have played together before, although obviously not as frequently as Fake One and Pakistan have. So maybe this will come down to the sort of team dynamic, in which case I would probably have to give the edge to the worst moles. But we'll see. I mean, the two teams are very closely matched. In fact, they are the number 4 and 5 seed in the tournament. So, just in terms of like ELO performance, they are extremely well matched right now. And whichever way this goes, I'm expecting a 2-1. I don't think either team will get a 2-0 sweep. I do expect all of the games to be pretty close, but look, I mean, anything can happen on game day, right? Sometimes you just get a terrible roll. Sometimes you focus the ogre on 7, and sometimes Jules just decides today is not your day. But we're going to have to leave it up to the players to show us what they've got. One thing is for certain, though, this is going to be a really fun game to watch.
I fully agree. And going back to their ranks and how close it is, this is the rank 4 and 5. If you average out their place on the ladder right now, they are within 2 places of each other, every player. So
Oh
we
wow.
are having probably what could be a hell of a match. I honestly see it going the distance. I don't think the players are going to look forward to the next round after this because I honestly think they're going to both play their hearts out here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, we've had all four of these players on winners' interviews in the past, right? Like they've won their share of cups. They certainly have their share of tournament experience and ladder experience. Adam's widely regarded as one of the best tournament players of all time. He's had a lot of victories, not just in Nova Cup, but going all the way back to things like the Legion in-house league and the Masters Cup, like the very, very early days of competitive Legion. So he's kind of well regarded as a very, very calm strategist, particularly in the mid and late game. Like his calls are just always on point. Don't give him Exec though. It's called an Adam's egg for a reason. He will always lose that bad boy on wave 11 when he doesn't want to. But other than that, his play is usually pretty flawless. So I'm excited to see what they make of it. And this is going to be the first Nova Cup played on this new patch, which I think has shaken things up a fair bit as well. We have a new unit. We have, the Pipsqueak, the Lumerian. We have some early game buffs to the King and nerfs to Power Mercs. So like Brute is weaker, Imp is weaker, Robo is weaker, which is pretty interesting. So we'll have to see. Like, are the teams going to be a bit more eco heavy in the early game, or are we still going to see a very, very heavy push into like 200 Mythium on 6 kind of gameplay, which we did see a fair bit of last month, I believe.
Yeah, actually, going back to last month, Maddie and Bosun did a wonderful job supporting you. But the changes that came this week really did, as far as like we often, unfortunately, a little bit get patches right before the tourney. It's fun because it can shake things up. However, it brings a bit of unpredictability to the meta. Right now, Ogre feels. I have no idea how it feels because sometimes it feels good and other times it feels horrible. It does not feel like the ogre that I've grown to love. The new passive is interesting, but I'm not sure if it's good yet. The mole changes, though. I mean, I think the polls becoming the moles was very apt, and I think moles will be the secret to a lot of team success.
Yeah,
It's getting
I'm
some love.
absolutely expecting to see like multiple moles sent on the same wave. I've been having fantastic success with sending like triple or quadruple mole on wave 11, for example, and just absolutely blowing out someone who can't deal with that much impact damage, that much natural HP. On a relatively early wave, so we'll have to see if it is going to be mole spam season this time. I think we will almost certainly see at least one multiple mole send, but we'll have to see. And whether
It's
or
not
not
a
the
meme.
players want to test the new ogre or not. It's not a meme. It's like the stats on that thing are crazy, man. Like the
OP.
the aura has been changed in let's call it interesting ways. But the unit stats on them all are just off the chart right now. Like it is just the highest DPS mercenary in the game, I guess, apart from, like a ramped Four Eyes and a ramped Needler, right? Like that thing slaps, man. And it's also really tanky as well. It's just very hard to deal with early on in the game. But even later, like you send 4 moles and what do? They just die. Right? Yeah.
Who do?
Buddha do mother trucker. All right, it looks like we have 3 of the 4 players in the lobby, so if Lil Bro wants to join us anytime soon, we should be able to get this show on the road.
It actually would be very beneficial if he showed up because I've already used a good amount of my filler material for the day in just this intro section here. 15 minutes in.
There's only so much padding we can do, right? So we kind of rely on punctual players to keep our padding to a minimum.
Then again, I guess he still technically has 2 minutes, so it's fine. I can actually go back to the stats a little bit.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, Isolde the highest ranked player that we have, his favorite opener, you'll never guess.
Flower.
Treasure Hunt.
Treasure Hunt. And who is the highest ranked? Is it Lil Bro?
Yes.
It is Isolde. Well, okay, then if I'd known he was the highest elo, I would have guessed that it was Treasure
Ah,
Hunt.
my
I think
apologies.
Isolde is known as a bit of a rat. So you either call him Lil Bro or you call him Lil Rat, one of the two. But yeah, he definitely uses those pack rats very, very well. And if he gets the looter in his role, he will almost certainly be taking over the game. So I'd love to see Lil Bro picking up the Lil Rat and putting that to the test here on the main stage. But look, he's pushing it now. Okay, he's in the lobby. Lil Bro is in the lobby. Everybody, panic over. Let's get the show on the road.
Indeed. Speaking of flower, though, both of our polls do enjoy opening flower the most, and then our Serbian friend here in Adamus, he actually opens a little bit of the NA Spirit the most, the gun opener for him,
Okay.
which I'm very excited about. I'm obviously a fan.
Well, you would be, of course. It's
Exactly.
it's
It's
in
my
your
veins.
DNA.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully the time for padding is over. The players want to put us out of our misery and start the lobby any minute now. No, we've still got extra padding to do, Seto. I see you've trimmed your beard and hair. That's a good look
Well,
for you right now. You're looking very, very neat.
thank you for noticing. I got a cut this week because I noticed I went and rewatched 2 months ago that my hair was about here.
Hmm.
In that time, it had gotten to about here, and I figured I'm not trying to step on Scob's feet yet. I mean, I still have a little bit of ways to go. I need to get a little more handsome before I can do such a thing. But I also noticed the opposite for you. Normally, you're pretty smooth.
You know, this is the longest my hair has been in years, probably. Now that's not intentional. That is just pure laziness. I want to put that out there right now. I just haven't gotten around to shaving it recently, so who knows? Let's see how
It
long it
looks
lasts.
good.
But guys, enough about our hair and beards because finally the players have decided to start the lobby. So game number one, Big Bro Lil Bro versus the Worst Moles. Let's go!
All right. We are all in the lobby. However, not a single mastermind has been picked yet.
What do you think about the 3 Legion spells there, Seto?
So they're blue. I'd like to start with that.
Hmm.
Guardian Angel is so good when you have that nice high cost unit to put it on. Azeria is a great option, which I see Adamas might have. The Avenger can be a very good option, but Overwork is very offensive, and we have Magician. So of course, I'm looking for Steed's Disciple. I don't see anything. I'm looking for interesting mana units. I mean, I guess Treants are kind of fine when they're the Tree of Knowledge, but I'm not seeing a lot of use for that yet. So it's definitely going to be either very aggressive or pretty safe.
Yeah. And speaking of that looter, by the way, it is in fact Fake One who picks it up rather than Isolde. So he's going to be making the most of that treasure hunt. There we go, the double treasure hunt round one. And this is just always the most cost-effective Mythium generation on especially on round one. Like on round one, it's just insane value. He's going to get 22 Mythium from this. And you just can't beat that no matter how many workers you have on wave one. So that's a pretty good start for Fake One. Downs does open that Priestess of the Abyss, like you suggested. And other than that, we've got a couple of fairly standard openers here with Archer for Pakistan and Gateguard for Isolde.
Absolutely. The only problem I see with the fake one is the Treant is great. You can't leak it on one to a snail, but I'd rather, of course, have the gate guard as it clears that wave just a little bit faster. And it's a little bit safer if you don't have a plan. But we're certainly not complaining. He's going to hold here. He's still going to be able to double hunt. And I don't think, well, he's not getting sent, so it doesn't really matter. He might do just a little tiny baby leak, but
Well,
honestly,
I think
very
he's
strong
fine to
positioning.
no sentence. I think his units are so good here. But yeah,
So Go ahead.
So Pakistan receives a king upgrade here, which almost guarantees he's going 6 workers. Yep, there it is. So he now has the lead over the other players in the lobby. We may even have a leak here against No Send. No, okay, never mind. The third dog is out. That's an easy hold for him. And the players are just queuing up some income sends. So, does look like a bit of an eco game so far, though we are only on wave 3, of course. And just to illustrate my point about the pack rats, let's look at Mythium generation. So, Fake One, 96 Mythium. He's 20 ahead of the second highest player in the game, which is his teammate, Pakistan. So that, I mean, that's insane. That's a snail. That's a king up. More than everybody else in the game, and it's currently wave 3. Like, the double pack rat start is just crazy, man.
Absolutely, it just feels good to have that on your side. Adamas here is still going to be fine. Like, even though, you know, they're pushed to 6 and Poda's not the best to a lizard, but it's still wave 3, and despite the nerf, she's still going to be just fine. So the setups here for everyone. I mean, again, the real question usually comes down for me as not necessarily the best rat enjoyer is how do I transition those rats? When do I hunt? And how do I make the best use out of them?
Yeah.
Obviously, leaking, you actually don't want to leak. You like shorter waves with rats.
Yeah, that does ebb away at his advantage a little bit. Like, the longer wave makes the rat a bit less efficient. And it makes the 7 workers on everybody else more efficient, of course. So we'll see. I mean, we can check in once again. He's still in the lead. I mean, it's still like 15 Mythium in the lead. It kind of just shows just how insane the rats are, even with a long wave.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, anything that gives you plus any amount of Mythium flat for free, well, slight riskier, but essentially no money going to be wasted here is just kind of giga value. The Pierce value that Fake One still has here is great, so he's still going to be getting just that flat Mythium. We do see, like, we are seeing slightly riskier play here. I see, you know, Isolde leaking just a little bit here. They definitely didn't have to a TT, but you know, they are pushed to 7-on-4, which is a good benchmark.
It's pretty solid, but look at this, because Pakistan, he's in the lead right now with 9 workers. He is not the best on 5, so as a result, he's kind of building a bunch of Oathbreakers and boosting an Infiltrator, but the send is not coming here on 5, and basically everything on his board, apart from that Infiltrator, is garbage on wave 6.
Absolutely. If there's even a shot that we could see our first mole on 6, I think it's going to be devastating. And if Genome leaks here, or Isolde leaks here, we very well could see that mole going into
look at that.
Moles.
4% HP on the Seraphim is the difference between Isolde leaking like everything and just basically baby leaking the Robos, which is good for him, right? Because they're saving.
Huge. Yep, he's just shy of getting that mole.
Yeah, crazy. No, he's gonna get it if he wants it. If he wants it, he has it. He has it shift clicked. We are going to see the first mole of the tournament, and it is the worst moles who are going to be receiving that mole.
Yep. Almost aptly named. Again, we're flipping the script a little bit here today. I mean, there's no reason that the Fake One was supposed to get the rat with Isolde on the other team, but I mean, it just happens to work out that way sometimes. The first big send is potentially going to be pretty massive, as there is just a lot of AoE on the Fake One here on wave 6. Fire Ellie is pretty good typically, but the rats are okay.
I mean, Fake One was overvalued. Like, he's plus 20 here. He might just be okay. His split tanking's phenomenal as well. Like, the Fire Elemental tanking just 1 is perfect. He's cleaning up the left side super quickly. I think Fake One is going to be just fine, which is good because his teammate can't quite say the same. Pakistan, oh, he doesn't even kill the last Rocco there. Let me see, it's got 9 hit points left on that bad boy. That is devastating. Oh wait, can he kill that mole? He can, okay, but barely. Alright, does get a lucky splash onto the injured Rocco, so Fake One clears at least 1 creep for his teammate. And here comes, okay, the mole countersend now coming out from the worst moles. Let's see. It can't really be a worse mole than the previous, right? Because that was a full hold from Fake One. So surely the worst moles will be sending the best mole so far. I don't know what I'm saying, man.
You know what? You're going to get better with experience, just like Adamas. And with all of that being said, now I want to see how the Fake One uses. So he was overvalued thanks to basically those rats that normally would have been hunted. We're just adding straight the value onto his board. Let us see what he hunts from here on out. Now that he's basically evened out his workers to everyone else.
Oh, he's hunting nothing, and that's actually big brain because there's a brute resend coming out from Isolde. So it should be another easy hold from Fake One. But let's check out Adam's wave. He does receive a mole. He has 820 value here, though, Seto. Nightmare dying very, very quickly. Mole absolutely wailing away on the arcane armor. This thing is just a menace. Look at this, 129 damage, basically per second. And yeah, that is a 58% leak there on Adams, despite having over 800 value for Wave 7.
I thought they were the worst moles. What is happening here?
I mean, clearly the worst moles are the best mole senders.
It's got to be all of that experience. They looked at themselves in the mirror and they saw the deterioration, but they you know, I have a feeling they're just having a little bit of a crisis. They shouldn't be so hard on themselves.
Yeah, things are looking very good so far for our Molish team.
Absolutely. They are saving Mythium, lying just a little bit here. Paki is still saving a little bit of Mythium here. As he's feeling pretty good this wave. It's next wave when he's starting to look like he's thinking about being in danger again.
I think we might see the first multi-mole end of the tournament. I think Pakistan might go for a double mole into a Solday on wave 9. Let's see.
That would be absolutely brutal, especially because we have this APS, which is going to provide, in my opinion, very little value for our Solday.
And yeah, another round of income into Pakistan, and Fake One just kind of gives them free reign to do whatever they want. Now, Fake One's Priestess did die super quick here, but I mean, with the Aqua combo, he should be okay, although his front line's kind of crumbling here. He might leak, but a small leak is honestly really good for him. Okay, it's not even that small, alright? 50% is not ideal, and really that's all about his Priestess just dying too quickly.
Yes, absolutely. So, drawing back to the storyline here, Isolde has redraw, something we didn't touch on yet.
Ogre, Seto, okay. So it's not a multi-mole, it is in fact the big yellow guy. Here he goes. Let's see this guy wailing away in Isolde's lane. Isolde, I mean, he's on really high value here, 1155. Does get the crawling catapult, which is, of course, really strong on 9, but with no front line. Is all of the melee wave just going to get in the catapult's face way too soon?
Yes, it is. Typically, you'd like to have the Harbinger, of course, to take up a little bit more of that time and do good damage, but we're not there. We've opted that the catapult is better value. The Ogre does thankfully go off to the right side first, and it, you know, cleared up its side very quickly. We're not going to get an extra summon out of that gate card, surely. Kidding.
There you go.
Well,
I mean, he just attacks so slow. Crazy, even with the buff. Adams has a catapult as well, by the way, so he's, like, very fine.
Yep, both of these players surviving that send very well. The dinos that they sent last wave and the small leak from Fake One did do something. It did help, but I don't know if it was... it's very hard to tell if it was worth it or not.
Oh, now this is interesting though. The Ogre reached the King on 9 out of 10 mana, so gets basically the full value of its spell right onto the King with the lifesteal, with the bonus attack speed, and as a result, quite a big chunk of King damage has been dealt. All 4 players going for the full resend here on 10. We've got another Ogre, this time for Pakistan, who does of course get the Trinity Archer, so he should at least have some potential, but the problem is with the lifesteal on that Ogre, is it just going to waste all of that kind of AoE damage from the Archer without ever being able to kill it?
It's actually a really great question, and just really quickly before this wave begins, I'd like to really put emphasis on how many real sends we've seen in the first game pre-10.
Yeah, everyone does seem to be addicted to power mercs, right? Okay, here we have it. So Pakistan does receive the biggest send of the four, with 320 Mythium walking into his lane. That Ogre is, of course, still alive. It's going to get one more spell off right now. Wastes most of that spell walking over to the archers, but it doesn't matter. That is an 82% leak for him, 71% for his mate with the full HP Mimic as well. Both on the left leak too, but their stuff is way lower HP, so a big chunk of HP against the king being dealt here to the side of worse moles.
Absolutely, and one other benefit that the Isolde and Adamas have is that the Mimic that was sent by Isolde did get 16 gold. Like, it's not a massive amount, but that is just
It's
an added
right?
benefit besides the leak gold and the Merc sends. Yep.
Okay, Fake One's going for an egg here. He does have the Azeria on 11, which is, of course, phenomenal. He's looking kind of low value, though, right?
He's looking low value. Aziri is just an absolute menace on this wave, though, and they're full hunting here. So as long as they're not being sent, which we can tell that they're not, they should be okay. They have tons of magic damage. So again, you know, as long as they don't leak too badly, or if they do leak, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. And they might even be counting on it, as they haven't used their GA. Everyone going for GA, by the way. And I love Pocky's GA, the Shadow Knight Dancer guy.
Oh, yeah. I kind of think that Fake One probably should have just used his GA, though. I mean, he's going to be fine here, so maybe that's just me being a chicken. But, like, you're placing an egg, right? Why risk losing it against, like, a DT send, you know?
Maybe he's threatening the overwork.
Yeah.
Maybe. It doesn't necessarily make the most sense, but that could be the idea.
Oh, look at this as well. Like, his egg is ripening and he still triple hunts. The man just has no fear.
I love it. I'm a big fan. Like, he's on value, too, with okay units, too.
Yeah.
Or, well, minus 275 extra, I guess, so he's minus 400-ish.
Oh, Adams, by the way, like, what a Chaos Gamer. He's got Nightmare Butcher,
everything.
good tanks, Priestess for 15. What a beast.
Yep, now he just needs to start the upgrade game, you know? Figuring out... He's got all the components, he just needs to, like, lock them in place, I think.
Yeah. Well, everyone's going to be on kind of insane value here, so I don't expect to send on 13. 14 maybe can work?
14 maybe can work. Fake One actually helped themselves out a lot. Like, even though the Hydra is not necessarily the best tank or damage on 14, it's a good delay. But the rest of the damage is kind of weak, so I could see it. The Shadow Dancer, of course, is great. As you noted before, Adamas has all of the pieces that he needs. He's basically got Exodia set up. He just needs to get it onto the board.
Yeah, he's got 390 here. Is he going to go for that doppelganger, or what does he want to do? It is the doppel, okay. Oh, he even has, like, potential dark mages as well. Oh,
Ooh.
GA is on the Oathbreaker. Interesting, because it will respawn in, like, Rage mode, right?
That's correct. It will respawn in Rage mode, and, you know, given enough stuff going on around it, it could regen up some HP. It could be very good. I mean, it's attached to that Butcher, which I memed on before, but I was put in my place when the crowd went wild when I said it's okay, it's funny, but it's not good. That was, I think, one of the most controversial things I've ever said.
Oh, here we go, Seto. So wave 14 is here, and yes! The first multi-mole send coming out. It is Quad Mole coming out from Isolde into the lane of the Fake One. So, I mean, he has a lot of units which are susceptible to impact damage. He's got those Green Devils, Boom Tree, even the Azeria, all of which going to crumble under the mighty Mole.
So, listen, we keep talking about the damage to the mole, but its original intent was to help stop a little bit some of that AoE, or, you know, the small damage going down, which he's got a good amount of in the Fire Elemental and the Rogue Wave, so it's only good, basically, into Fake One, all these moles.
Oh, I mean, they're just absolutely destroying him on the left, no? Okay, maybe no. The Azeria is just tanking that like an absolute champion. The right side doesn't move across. I mean, he's doing fantastically well. He has, in fact, killed all 4 moles. Is this just a full hold from the Fake One? It is.
It's a full hold from everyone.
It's a full hold from everyone. Okay.
Everybody gets a full hold.
I mean, everyone's just such high value that they're able to hold the sends. Like, I guess the sends are
And it's
also
50
kind
50.
of low because everyone is such high value. Like, nobody has really pushed crazy workers.
Nope, everyone's same workers, same value, same king HP, same odds of winning. It's all same. Everyone picked the same Legion spell, for crying out loud. What can
Yeah,
you do?
yeah, quite a defensive mid game actually from both sides.
Absolutely. And oh, good. The antler potential for the even funnier Oathbreaker. Like the next setup. Oh, I guess Pocky did push a little bit more after we said everyone was even. I believe they were at 25 workers just a second ago. Now they're at 30. So deciding that they're going to push for a little bit of value. Fake One putting down another egg here. The next end, I think, has got to be 17, which makes Fake One's egg live, which is good. But after that, the damage from them, once again, is a little bit weak. But are we going to see all moles again, since we just set... We've seen mole fail against Fake One every time it's been sent into him so far today.
Yeah, I mean, all of the players are playing it quite safe, I think. And Fake One, I mean, look, he's well, actually, he's not playing it safe, right? Because he's hunting again. He has an egg on the board. I kind of like this from Fake One. He did the same on 12. Remember, like he had the egg. He's still triple hunted. He is definitely making the most of those pack rats. That is for sure. While also having more workers than both of the opponents. So actually, I'm starting to really like the position of the worst moles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I feel like when they've sent the real sends, they've been more successful. They haven't always been successful. They've been more successful than their opponents. So,
Yeah.
really good spot for them to be in. Actually, Fake One is still leading the Mythium count. He's also leading the income count. So he's done exactly what he needed to do with those rats here today.
Yep, absolutely. All right, here we have that Wave 17 full send coming out. There's a huge amount of power mercenaries here coming out from the worst moles. Adams and Isolde, though, they do not want to try and match it. Correctly reading that Fake One, I mean, he's fantastically strong here with the double Hydra. Though I'm pretty sure they could have leaked Pakistan. However, they just want to try and survive this send, so we've got a round of Income and King coming out from Adams and Isolde. And, I mean... they're actually looking pretty undervalued, so this could get pretty spicy here on Wave 17, Seto.
Wave 17 shaping up exactly the way we kind of wanted it to be. Of course, we're going to look at the left side here is what's going to be the probably more interesting side. Adamas has never upgraded that Priestess of the Abyss, which in this case is going to be a pretty good call, as it's not a very good unit here.
Oh, his mole is getting insta-sniped. Oh no, the little guy. That really was the worst mole.
For sure, because honestly, that just inhibited his own waves damage at this point,
Yeah.
which
I mean, that's
you
just a
don't
full hold
exactly
for
need to
Adams,
do.
like, easily. It's not even close. He has thousands of value still alive. His teammate is going to leak, maybe? No, wait. There's only one wave creep alive. Crazy. The smallest of baby leaks there for Isolde. And in fact, the player who's closest to leaking is Pakistan here, who received Drakes and King Ups.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm still not necessarily going to call that a mistake. I don't know if leaking Pocky really mattered that much. Obviously, you do like that late game leak gold, but it was the Fake One who was on fire, but you can see that's no longer the case.
Yeah, when you hold a Power Mercenary send at this stage in the game, you get so much gold, because remember, those Power Mercenaries, they are worth more bounty than the Income Mercenaries. So the fact that Adams and Isolde, they both held the full Power send, they get so much gold, and they also get more income because they sent Income Mercenaries, right? So this game has just kind of flipped on its head. Worst moles, they were in a pretty strong lead, but right now the game is neck and neck. In fact, Jules is even calling it 50-50 there at the top. Straight down the middle. This game is anyone's to take.
Yep, absolutely. I don't know if I identified this earlier, but the unit that Isolde decided to GA was the Harbinger, and
Okay.
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that. I don't think that that unit holds its value really in very many ways past 10, but if it comes back and it spawns a dog, I guess that's good delay, but I don't really know what it does there because I've never done it. I don't respect it.
So
Uh-oh.
as a general rule, any oh wow, they both leaking to no send. Crazy. They pushed hard, maybe too hard, some might say, because these 3 creeps are actually worth a lot of gold for Adams and Isolde. But yeah, what was I saying? So any unit that has a spell, whether it be a summon or a damage spell, gets that much extra value from Guardian Angel, right? Because they generally spawn at full mana when they revive, and they get a free spell. So if your choice is not super obvious, like a Lifesteal Doppelganger, for example, and you just want to put it on a Harbinger, I think that's absolutely fine for Isolde. But here we go, Seto, because we have all 4 players going for the full send here on 19, and I'm starting to feel pretty scared for the worst moles, right? Because, well, one, they just leaked to no send, gave a bunch of gold to the side of Adams and Isolde, but 2, Isolde, he's just pressed that redraw button twice and found the perfect answer for Wave 19. He's got a whole suite of hardened golems, hardened mudmen, the perfect tank value for a Wave 19 send. So the sends, of course, much bigger from the side of worse moles, but they also have much less value. So let's just see if they end up getting completely overwhelmed here against the smaller sends.
Absolutely. I think Genome here correctly identifying those Mudmen, but he didn't harden the one that was up in the lead. I'm not sure if he was just trying to save that for possibly a Pilgrim spot since he's got, Chaos that costs money. But yes, everyone leaking here, depending on how these line up.
It was
Oh,
close.
wow.
It was really close, but Pakistan needed to hold for a few more seconds. There's 40% difference here on the King, Seto. Like 40% in favor of Big Bro, Lil Bro. But the way Wave 19 works, the insane amount of damage that it does to the King, we're talking like 3 seconds, 2 seconds maybe. If Pakistan can hold that much longer, they win the game here on 19. But I tell you what, let's just take a quick look at this graph, because this kind of tells the story of the game, right? The worst moles, they were in the lead throughout the entire early game and most of the middle and late game, right? There was a few ups and downs here and there, but they were in the lead basically 17 out of 19 waves. And then what happened? We had that exchange on wave 17 here. This is the key, this is the pivotal moment. Adams and Isolde, they send income, they upgrade the King, but most importantly, they both hold, right? I mean, sure, Isolde leaks 4 creeps, but essentially they both hold against this full power mercenary send while sending income, and that completely flips the game on its head. It goes from being a pretty decent advantage for the worst moles into a game which is ultimately won by Adams and Isolde. So absolute masterclass there from those Big Bro, Little Bro gamers in terms of how to play from behind, how to turn a game around. Just really great stuff. Seto, what do you think about that one?
I obviously I said both of these teams are going to play their hearts out. You saw what calm, cool, collected can do for you in Adamas and Isolde. However, I also really want to make sure that this is something I point out. I would be a bad caster if I didn't say that the choice that Paki and the Fake One made on 17 to basically full Sui was not a bad call. That is a super advanced play that a lot of new players would be too afraid to make. They had to, from the position that they were in, do something that was risky. Unfortunately, they leaked just a little bit on 18, but that was more than enough to give the final nail in the coffin for Isolde.
Do you know what? I'm going to say that leak actually made the difference, right? Because 3 creeps, it shaved off 20% of their King HP, right?
Yep.
And it was a race. Remember, it was a race.
Exactly.
It gave probably 100 gold each to the side of Adams and Isolde. Like, don't underestimate how much these creeps are worth on wave 18. It might even be more than 100 gold that they earned there. And, of course, Fake One and Pakistan, they got that much less gold because they didn't kill those 3 creeps. And yeah, all of these things just kind of add up. And remember, I was saying there was literally 2 or 3 seconds difference? That could easily be the difference made by like 100 gold swing on wave 19. Like, you have one more Treant, you have one more Oathbreaker, something like that. And it can make the difference really, really easily that Pakistan may have just delayed long enough to win the game. And of course, like Adams and Isolde, they would have had one less tank unit available as well. So they would have leaked that much faster. And these things, like, something so small, leaking 3 creeps on wave 18 to no 7 can easily make the difference when the teams are this closely matched. But I have to say, really well played there by Adams and Isolde. They were behind, they kept cool heads, and they brought this one back. So let's see how things are going to change in game number 2. Do we have a lobby available? We do. Okay, let me hop in there. Alright, ready when you are. So yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping the worst polls bring this one back, because of course my prediction was for a 2-1 series here in the first group stage. I would be surprised if Adams and Isolde do manage a 2-0 sweep, but look, the main thing is I do think all of the games played between these two are going to be super, super close. So with that said, maybe Adams and Isolde just take it again. We'll have to find out. What is worth mentioning though, Seto, they have used their 2 kind of comfort picks in terms of Mastermind. So Chaos and Redraw, they are both gone now for Adams and Isolde. They cannot pick them again in this series. They're going to have to mix things up a little bit. Now, of course, they're both extremely well-accomplished players. They can play other Masterminds, but there is something to be said for losing your 2 strongest Mastermind choices right out of the gate.
For sure. Now, both of these players are Megamind enjoyers, which is very nice. I mean, Adamas is over 90% Megamind, and Isolde is over 70%. Isolde does get to, they have been testing out Miner, they have been playing Stash, they are an accomplished Fiesta enjoyer as well, so it's not like they do not have options. And again, as you've noted, they are accomplished players, so they're not out of options. Their comfort pick, okay, fine, but now they got momentum. Like, that's what it cost them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we're about to find out what the Mastermind picks are, because, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, game number 2. Alright, nothing picked up just yet, but what do you think about these Legion spells, Seto? We've got 2 very aggressive options here.
I hate still Giant Snail. It feels like bait most of the time, unless it's being used into me, because I am a trash player, I guess. But I do love AOA. It's good cost versus benefit. Like, you do get a good amount of Mythium that you spend, and you basically get almost all of that value back, or you do get all of that value back once you've spent that Mythium. So as long as you don't hold on to it for more than a wave, there is no you don't lose anything. And then of course we have the Glacial Touch, which, you know, can be a very, very good spell, and we actually wouldn't mind seeing it on the Pipsqueak if we get something going there.
Oh, that would be interesting, yeah. So we have got 2 players actually with the new unit, the Pipsqueak. In fact, they're both opening it with it? Yeah, they are. Okay, so Fake One opens with his Pipsqueak, Isolde, he opens with his. Do either player have an attack speed buff? They do not. Okay, which is a shame, because the Lumerian really shines with an attack speed buff. Oh, and Seto, here we go. The first spice of the game is here on wave 1, because Pakistan, he opens Gate Guard. He's not playing Fiesta. He does receive a Snail.
Yep, he's going to be fine. Like, the gold that you lose isn't that bad, and he has 5 workers. The only one who's kind of going to suffer here is the Fake One, as even though they had the lock-in random, they put down the Anglers to maybe scale a little bit. So unfortunate that their teammate is kind of selling them out here like that. But what can you do? I mean, I guess
he's
going to
get 4 bonus stacks as well. So you can. It's a trade-off, you know.
It's a trade-off.
Alright, we've got snails coming out from all 4 players. Will anybody be able to handle this assault? Adams did go 6 workers. I'm kind of curious how well he does here. I think he's going to be fine. Okay, he even adds the 4th Bone Warrior. That pretty much cements it. I think he's going to be just peachy here. Is anybody looking dangerous against... Oh, there are 2 snails here for
Holy.
Pakistan, but he has a Fire Archer as well, so I think he should be okay. Yeah, Fire Archer only pulls 3 creeps, though. There is a chance that this Gate Guard gets overwhelmed on the left, and in fact that does look to be the case. He will not get that second summon out, but the Fire Archer is just such a strong unit here on Wave 2. Is it going to be able to regenerate against all of those units, or will it be another small leak here for Pakistan? One more? He does get it.
Thresholding?
Yeah, that was close. That was very close. But now the Fire Archer, I think, just has enough to out-regen the wave. And yes, that is a hold from Pakistan. But slightly better positioning, and it wouldn't have even been close, right? Like maybe half a square higher on the Fire Archer?
Yeah, the Gate Guard not getting a second summon, or the Fire Archer, as it demonstrated there, can take a good bit of abuse before going down. Kind of made it a little bit riskier than maybe it needed to be, but I'm looking at kind of the rest of his role, and I guess where it is kind of positioned is going to make it easier for him to position many other units later, especially for his potential Pilgrim on 5, everyone's favorite unit to see.
Okay, well, Fake One is being put to the test here. He did go for 6 workers, and he is receiving... Well, it's only a lizard, but it looks like it's going to be too much for him to handle. Those anglers died way too quickly. I mean, the Pipsqueak is kind of broken, but still, a 20% leak there for Fake One. Not the end of the world, but again, the worker lead is in favour of Big Bro Lil Bro right now. In fact, Adams goes all the way up to 8 workers here, so the long wave really good for the side of Adams and Isolde.
Yep, Adamas is actually kind of taking off here. He's 20 Mythium ahead of everyone else in the game so far with those 8 workers. He's always been able to be 1 or 2 above. It's the Fake One who has noted, I think, originally their strength and continues to be the paragon for speaking about its success. I have not seen this many small bones, though, for Adamas. Is that age-related?
I mean... I don't want to say anything about Adams' bones right now, but what I was really interested in is the fact that it's wave 4, and Adams has basically only built 1 unit, right? Like, he's only built Bone Warriors and things that grow out of Bone Warriors. And...
yeah, he's definitely making Toho proud.
yeah, and you know what? He doesn't need anything else. Like, he's 8 workers, 9 workers now, holding the double snail send on wave 4, making it look easy. Just perfect split here between all of his regen-based bone units, and Adams makes it look easy. Meanwhile, we did have a small leak here from Fake One once again.
Oh, sorry, I was so interested in watching the experience go that I didn't even notice that. Adamas here actually doing a little bit of, what's the word, diversity here by showing some love to the Pilgrim and getting that onto the board. That pairs very well with the, well, pretty much all of these units that already regen. It might help keep them alive just a little bit longer.
Are you telling me that this Pilgrim is a DEI higher?
No.
Silence. Just complete deaf ears. Okay, I'll file that one in the list of failed jokes.
No, it was so good. I had to look away. I'm sorry. It's actually Discord's fault with Crisp. It's too good. It actually stifled everything that was not a word that came out of my mouth just then. So, nope, that was a success.
Oh, here's a very spicy Wave 6 coming up, Seto. We have Double Brute here from Isolde. We've got full sends from both Pakistan and Fake One as well. Adam's only going for the income send, so if anything, Pakistan should be able to hold and cover his teammates' leak as well. Speaking of which, though, Fake One, he's on super high value right now. 620 for him, the highest value in the game. But he is paying for that by being the lowest workers. So let's see. I really want to watch the side of Adams and Isolde. Are they able to hold here? Both members receiving full sends. Remember, if they both leak, this could be some pretty serious king damage here on Wave 6.
Yeah, you noted that he was 620 value, but honestly, I see minus 200 value in those bounty hunters and the angler that he's got. So
This is true.
620 is fake.
Yeah, this is Adams is getting overwhelmed. Isolde as well. Fake One, he leaks 49. We've got matching 60% leaks for both members of Big Bro, Lil Bro, and of course Pakistan, he does hold against the income send. So First blood going the way of the worst moles, dealing a decent amount of king damage here on wave 6.
Absolutely, and once again, their sends are being very successful, generally. But let's see, can they hold on to this advantage that they've kind of given themselves here? Are they going to do something weird with it and kind of throw later? I mean, obviously, I hope not, but they've done weird things.
They have. I mean, they were pretty far ahead in the previous game, right? The difference there was Big Bro, Little Bro. They were saving their Mythium and they had a really good counter-attack angle, but now they've lost half of their King HP already on wave 6, and Pakistan, he's smelling blood in the water. He's going for a full resend here into Isolde's lane. Like, Isolde, he only pushed 1 or 2 there, but his board is so weak here on wave 7 that I wouldn't be surprised to see him leaking again.
Yep, actually, speaking of being weak, yet again, we do see another full send into the Fake One as well, who still has a lot of that fake value, but he's doing just fine. Like, you do not mind the fortified tank here.
Oh, he's holding, right? Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So the fact that Isolde holds here, well, Isolde leaks 64% while Fake One full holds, is really good. So Worst Moles, I think, were already ahead. After this wave, we might see the old Julesometer swing quite heavily in their favour.
Absolutely. No, the definitely a better call out of the Worst Moles this time on their resend choices, so pretty good.
Yeah, okay, well it only went 1%, but still, 60-40 now in favour of the Worst Moles is a pretty nice position for them to be in, but remember, we have seen Big Bro, Little Bro overcome worse odds than this, and that was only last game. So this game is far from over, but it's fair to say that I really like the position the Worst Moles are in right now.
I love the greed from the Fake One. Like, just, hey, cool, we're still holding. I guess I won't make this Bounty Hunter, into a Kingpin, and I'll throw down another Steed. Let's really buff that mana.
Yeah, let's juice it. He
His
has
units
to
did
make the
run off to
Kingpin
the
on
right
9,
beside
though,
them.
right? Surely.
He's only 50 value down, still 13 workers. I don't know.
He's pushing. He's not making that Kingpin. That could be a mistake. Like, his board looks garbage on 9 from where I'm sitting.
Yeah. Then again, let's see what the Pipsqueak can do, right?
Yeah.
That's his damage, I guess, because Bounty Hunter ain't it, and the Wanderer isn't necessarily it either.
Well, crucially, Isolde has no Mythium. Like, he can't push because Fake One and Pakistan are saving their Mythium. So 200 on Pakistan, 160 on Fake One. Well, he would have 200 as well, but he had to send this little guy so that he could afford this little guy. I like that. Good presence of mind. Fan. Like, even though you're saving, don't grief your build, you know? Send the turtle if you need the 12 gold.
We do see our first Lumerian here, who can gain infinite stats. Very interesting.
Infinite scaling.
It's actually broken. Like, on 13, kind of a beast. He's a menace. The Great Macam, I've seen recently, actually put 4 buffs on the Lumerian and solo hold with that unit.
Wow. I mean, yeah, Macam is a beast, so I'm not surprised.
He's really gained quite the following, despite his prior kind of just flying under the radar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is really interesting now. So Pakistan and Fake One, they do save their Mythium here on 10. They're really heavily favoured now, by the way, 65% odds. But this could easily turn the game on its head, because here we see a full send coming out from Adams and Isolde. Now, Fake One, of course, he does get that Kingpin upgraded here on 10. He's not crazy. If he holds here, because I definitely expect Pakistan to leak, right? But if Fake One is able to hold and cover for his teammate, I'm going to say this game is all but over.
Yeah.
I don't see them coming back from that. But, I mean, his Kingpin is going down. The tanks on the right, they still haven't been able to kill a Brute. Oh, okay, they at least get there in time to save the Daphne. So this is a full hold for the Fake One. Now, Pakistan, he will leak, of course. But Fake One's going to be able to at least shave some HP off that boss. They'll take very little king damage here. And is that a Kraken? That is a Kraken coming out for wave 11 from Pakistan. And how does Isolde ever kill that?
Great question. In the pre-game banter, one of these games, there was talk of a Kraken on 9. We're not too far off, but the you know what? No, it's fine. We'll kill the Kraken. Don't worry about it. The Berserker is going to be facing it the whole time, and it's not going to be an issue.
Well, the thing is,
we're
like,
not going to
the
send it
ramping
off to
damage
the
from a
right.
Fatalizer is magic damage, right? So, I mean, yes, the Fatalizer does give him some ability to kill the Kraken, but it's still going to take a really long time, and nothing else on his board can basically scratch that thing.
Yep. No, he's in a huge amount of danger here. He's bottom of the power score. This is not going to help. The pack leader here will make the Kraken go down just a hair faster. However, that wave is just going to be doing infinite work here on Isolde.
Yeah. So these are two 600 Mythium Sens coming out on wave 11. The Illumarian dies instantly there. The Kraken did go down under the gaze of the Fatalizer, but he won't kill the pack leader. He won't kill a single wave creep. That is 131% leak there for Isolde. Adams, he's not doing much better. To be fair, that's 113 over there, and that is the worst moles coming back into the series in style. We are now tied 1-1. This game was brutal, Seto.
Yeah, is that fast and aggressive gaming, or I mean, it's certainly aggressive. We just see a wave 11 Kraken.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was wild. I mean, this game was very, very solid from the worst moles, right? Like, we saw this really nice combined send on 6, shaving off the first half of the King's HP, and then they just stockpile their bricks. So, like, we did have... sorry, my game just kind of lagged for a second. We did have this Wave 7 resend, which I like into Isolde's very weak Wave 7 board. Crucially, Fake One holds his own resend there. And then they just go all the way to 11, rightly knowing that they're strong enough to survive a Wave 10 send with a Kingpin, with a Daphne in the Fake One's lane, and they're kind of accepting the leak there for Pakistan, and that's absolutely fine. And what do they get from it? 600 Mythium Sends on 11, just easily closing out the game against Isolde and Adams. So really, really strong gameplay there from the worst moles, and a very well-deserved tie now in the series. Remember, it's a best of 3, so the players are going to have to go head-to-head one more time to decide the winner of this first game of the day. But that was something, Sesso. What do you think?
It was really nice to see Fake One and Paki go back to the masterminds that they picked out of the first game and win with them, because this does two things. One, it shows... Well, it does a lot of things. Let's start with this. It shows that it wasn't a bad call to go with those masterminds. Two, it doesn't give their opponents any new kind of information, like, the worst polls also want to play this combo. Nope, they took the same thing, reran it. It happened to get not necessarily a little bit luckier, but actually, to win the game with that combo. So with Greed and Lock-In Random being out of their hands now, I'm excited to see where they go from here, and to see our game 3 just as we'd predicted. I think both of us said we're going to go the distance here.
Yeah, but the other thing I said is that the games are all going to be really close, and that one was not. That game was very one-sided in favour of the worst moles. Like, it felt that they were just leading the game basically from the start, like certainly from Wave 6. From Wave 6 onwards, the game was all about the worst moles. Like, they were dictating the pace of the game, they were choosing when the sends were going to come, and yeah, they're just a really well played, very clean game from them. So if they can repeat that performance in game number 2, I'm scared for Adams and Isolde, because that was honestly some of the most impressive Legion gameplay I've seen in a while there from Pakistan and Fake One. So let's see. As we go into game number 3. In fact, we are just waiting for Fake One to join the lobby, so we have got time for more thoughts, Seto, if you have any on the prior game.
Yes, I do. I think, and you've already said most of this, but I'm going to say it a different way because that's kind of how you cast. I think the way that they read the game for Fake One and Pocky last game was just perfect. By reading our Legion spells and not forgetting what they are, as I occasionally do, I'm not sure what that's about, but occasionally I'm like, oh, cool, these are my Legion spells, and then forget by way of 9. Oh, yeah, there's Venture in the game. They read the game state very well, said, we can get Kraken, we can get Big Sends, there's not going to be anything they can do, and absolutely just closed it out there. Like just smothered their opponents.
Yeah, it was super clean. It was really like textbook how to play around All Out Assault, or how to win the game with All Out Assault. Um, get some early king damage so they're not on 100%, and then just one shot them on 11 with the extra 115 Mythium you get. It was perfect gaming, honestly, from Pakistan and Fake One. So, the series is now tied 1-1. Remember, it's a best of 3, and what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? That means game number 3 is here. So let's go.
All right, so this time we don't have quite that aggressive spell, but we do have PTA, which is just a free. I think it's still 70, but there might have been a patch, who knows, where it's not 70 Mythium anymore. We have Loan if we're afraid, which is the pretty much counter of AOA and PTA. And then we have the Protector spell, which is probably, if I had to guess, one of my most picked spells, as that extra HP on a bunk or some other tank is really, really good. Phoenix loves Protector. Any kind of split tanking big tank.
Oh, this is really interesting, Sito. We have absolute mirror picks here in the Masterminds. We've got Stash for Adams and Pakistan, and we've got Saboteur for Isolde and Fake One. What do you make of that?
In similar positions as well. That's very. I don't love Saboteur. I really like the idea of Stash with it. It gives a little bit of safety to the big balls play of Saboteur, but I think I just don't understand its reasoning yet. Why someone would hurt themselves and their team for a little bit of value. Like, it's good value, it's big value, but it's not. You lock yourself out of a lot of options with it. So these guys know more than I do.
Oh, Adams is going for his full bone start once again. He did receive a snail this time, though, and I think a snail spells danger for the Fire Archer opener.
He did put down all 3 of the bones, but he didn't put them down in the exact perfect positioning.
67% is a little painful, but it's only wave 1 leak, so not too much gold being lost here. I think it's only 1 gold per creep there for Adams, not the end of the world.
That's correct. He's also the Stash player, so maybe he wanted that extra 1 gold in the piggy bank.
Yeah, true. Now, Fake One has quite the disgusting opener. He has the Casket Angler, he has the Seedling to boot, so he can pretty much guarantee 7 workers here. Although Isolde didn't send any Mythium this wave, so maybe Fake One won't quite be that greedy.
Fake One has a pretty crazy roll as long as they can recover on, like, their first scary wave is kind of for a little bit, depending on what's sent into them. But 5, they don't really have a whole lot of damage. Like, they do have the Bounty Hunter, which is very, very good tanking, but the damage is a little bit lacking now, aside from possibly a Chloropixie.
Alright, everybody is able to hold on wave 2. We've got Lizards and just income sends basically coming out from all 4 players here on 3, so don't expect anything crazy to happen, although Fake One is up on 7 workers right now. Interesting whether Isolde decides to call him on that and maybe add the snail to the Lizard's end. But with the Seedlings and the Casket, I mean, doesn't he just hold no matter what?
I think he holds no matter what. The Seedlings and the Casket are just really gosh darn OP. Like, we have shifted some of the value from the Seedlings into the Chloropixie kind of a few times, so maybe there's something about the threshold that I don't know, but you can see it's just clearing up the entire wave.
Yeah, the wave is giga dead, yeah.
Yep.
So the player who did receive a full send is Pakistan. He got that 60 send, the lizard and snail, and he will be leaking, but only very small here. Like it's 3 creeps in the lizard. He's absolutely fine with that. Although his teammate won't be able to clean up quite in the mid. So first blood will go the way of Big Bro Little Bro here in game number 3.
Yep. Unfortunately, the angler couldn't cash in on but one of those stacks, so just absolutely devastating play this time around on wave 3.
But that said, there is now a dino coming out from the fake one into the wave of Adams. Now, Adams, he's got 97 gold to play with. He could go for... Oh, he just goes for a Treant. Okay, I can see it. Like, Treant is pretty poorly typed on wave 4. But it has that 20% buff, right? So it does 20% more damage, 20% more tank, and that kind of makes up for the typing mismatch. But let's see.
Yeah,
This dino needs to kill the Fire Archer. That's the important thing right now. And it looks like it's doing its job. The Fire Archer is down. This is very dangerous territory now for Adams. That Fire Archer was basically all of his damage for the wave. And both of his melee units will go down simultaneously. 75% leak for Adams. Meanwhile, his teammate, he leaks 42% to Snails. So, worse moles, sure they took first blood on 3, but they hit right back here on wave 4, and this is much more deadly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most impactful sends we've seen this early, and it just happened to be from a dino and some snails. Like, the worst moles aren't living up to their name right now in the fact that I'm not seeing really impactful moles. This is what I promised. We would see very, very spooky boodadoos, and that's not what's happening.
The one thing, though,
being wrong.
that I'm really interested in right now is Isolde has 150 Mythium in the bank, and Fake One's lane currently consists of Casket, Seedling, Bounty Hunter, and a couple of Infiltrators, right? So if he's receiving, say, 200 Mythium on 6, which is a very realistic situation, he's just dead. Like he'll need to sell something for the Kingpin or for the Orchid or something like that if he wants any chance of holding a wave 6 send.
Yep. Also, he wasted a whole 8 gold here on those Orchids, just not quite knowing what was going to be coming his way. We do see a Mimic?
Okay.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, wait. He actually has a ton of income himself. Fake One only needs to sell 1 seed to get the Orchid. And he does. Yeah, he even has enough to add a split. He can boost the Orchid if he wants to.
Which would be a pretty big call here, I think.
Yeah.
That's
The
5
Mimic
gold
is
well spent.
pretty good against the Orchid, though. So, of course, if the Orchid gets stuck on the Mimic, it will not kill anything. It will die quite fast. But we'll have to see. There's full sends coming out from both Pakistan and Fake One as well, but I really want to see how well Fake One can answer this Mimic send right now.
Oh, I think the answer is not very well.
Not
We can
very
kill
well.
a Rocco, which is good.
Oh, it's attacking the Mimic. Oh no.
Yep.
Oh, Seto.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm scared.
It's all ogre now.
It's all Ogre. That's a 92% leak for Fake One. But meanwhile, Adams, he leaks 60%. Isolde does much better, but still 21% there. And the side of Big Bro, Little Bro, their king, he's in danger.
Yeah, that Mimic do be chomping, though. That's another 3 gold for it. It will get... I think it's going to clean up the rest of the Harpies. So that's 21 gold on a 6 Mimic. That's pretty good.
That's not bad. And the Mimic is also dealing a ton of damage to the king of worse moles, but they're still in a really strong spot, I want to say.
They absolutely are, but because of the Mimic and the damage that it did, I think it helped skirt off. Like, I saw it touch that 69 just briefly there for the Fake One and Pocky, so just barely being able to dodge any kind of potential curses on the day. Also, not really a fan of Pocky's lane this way, but he's not getting sent, so it's totally fine.
Not a
no
huge
worries.
fan of his role in general, I think. Like, way too much natural HP, very little DPS, I guess. I mean, he's got the Lord of Death for later. He might just be fine. But he doesn't really have any synergy in his role whatsoever, right? Like, not a single aura. No very obvious synergy, so I think he might fall off quite hard if this game ends up going late. But looking at how aggressive it's been in just the first 6 waves, I don't think we're going to see this one going too late.
No, I mean the good news here is that this board shouldn't make Julian upset, as since there are no combos for hockey, it's just this is their game. This is gaming at its core, at its prime. Everyone else has some interesting things going on here. Fake One scared again. Is full boosting that Orchid.
Yeah, that's -20.
Yeah. So at this point, they have spent quite a bit of gold. I don't know if they needed to be afraid. I actually would have liked to have split some of the Casket and Orchid together, as they're both decent tanks this wave.
Maybe he did need to boost, actually. Like,
yeah, maybe. I'm wrong sometimes.
no, never. I won't hear it.
Do you not remember the Dark Prophet Seto?
It looks like the boost actually came in pretty clutch. He probably would have leaked the Cannoneer otherwise. Here we have another full send coming out from Pakistan. It's double brute. It is wandering into the lane of Isolde, but oh no, he has that Soul Gate. So I'm kind of watching the Jules win percentage up at the top there, and it has been creeping steadily back in favour of Big Bro, Little Bro over the last couple of waves. Now it's almost neck and neck, and I think when Isolde holds this brute send here with the Soul Gate, they're going to be favoured for the first time in the game.
I think you are probably correct. We still need Slime Mommy to... Never mind. Almost nothing went on the gun. I was going to say that we need Slime Mommy to pop.
Slime Mommy does not get full mana. Okay,
to.
that is a loss of value. Quite a lot, actually. Like, it's 2 minus slimes. That's basically minus 100 gold.
Yep.
He is going to leak as a result. He's going to leak decently. Okay, well, my prediction of them being in favour is kind of changing now. Like 75% leak is pretty bad for a Isolde. Pakistan does leak to the incomes then, though.
Yeah, that was a deadly snail and lizard.
I mean, yeah, how can you hold a snail and lizard, man? Like, it's just impossible.
Yeah, and the life regen. I think that's what put it over.
Even more king damage. Like, it's only a bit of a tickle here on wave 9, but it's, every little counts.
Yeah, those brutes, they do work. Like, that 2%, it sounds almost, it almost sounds insulting, but that 2% actually matters on the king.
And here's a full send coming up from Fake One. So, the worst moles, like, they're kind of, since wave 6, that was their last joint send. Since then, they've just been taking the opportunity to full send or income send, depending on who they're sending into, how they're feeling. And it's been working pretty well for them. So let's see. Adams, he does have a bonk. He does boost his veteran as well. Is he going to be able to hold this Mimic Hermit send on 10? 240 Mythium walks into a bar. Let's find out. Is there a counter?
The boosted vet is just actually really good here.
It's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. It's a good spending of 20 gold here. Something that maybe Adamas didn't talk about with Isolde is the fact that Pilgrim has been changed recently, and currently it's going to be buffing a Fire Archer instead of that bunk that he put down behind everything. I don't know if he plans on selling that front line at some point, but I don't like the positioning of his board at the moment.
Yeah.
Isolde does get the big gun here. They had it last wave. Very good unit here to tank, and it deals quite a bit of damage. Since the range changes on the gun, it's become a lot more consistent, and I can appreciate that. Fake One here is a little bit of... I shouldn't say that. Maybe they're not afraid, but they are boosting the Orchid to put it behind the fortified tanks on this wave.
Yeah. I like that, because otherwise, like, your 280 gold unit is basically dead value, right?
Yep. Exactly. PTA here for Adamas and Isolde. I don't know when they're planning on sending yet. However, Pocky did shift 200 gold.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Uh,
13, right? Like, for both teams, it's just looking like 13. I think Pakistan and Fake One shifting so much gold here on 11 is to try to bait a Wave 12 send where they're both extremely strong. But I just don't think that Adams and Isolde are going to fall for that.
Yep, it is actually even more devastating because it was Pocky taking a loan there to try and survive that 12.
Oh,
And
they do
shifting
fall
that
for
full
it.
loan.
Oh my god, Seto! Like if Pakistan and Fake One just full hold against this send here on 12, they just win the game. They just win the game. It's as simple as that, I think.
So obviously we stash now, right?
Right?
Surely.
Right? Like you're trying to bait the send here on 12. So
Yes.
maybe you should use the stash. I think he's used it, right? He has, yeah.
All right. So we have natural tanks from Pocky. We didn't get to put down any of those boars, which is a little bit of a shame. They would have done some work here, especially because we know that the Warp Winged struggles against extra units like imps. And
Right.
his
I
natural
mean, his
tanks
units are
struggle
perfect
against
for the
imps.
wave, right? Like he's basically full pierce damage. He's basically full natural armor. The full magic sense, so the imps and robos, of course, very good against what he has on the board. But Pakistan using that stash here for wave 12, absolutely paying off. He is flying. That's an easy hold there for Pakistan. And guess what? Fake One, he's holding as well. These guys have. I mean, they've won the game, man. Like that play was huge. They baited the send. The probability has gone from more or less even to 83% likelihood for the worst moles. That play was fantastic.
Nope, full agreement. I have nothing to say except for I think that's the first time where we've gone through the discussion of you can bait, but you also then have to hold. I feel like that's one of the first times in a while, you and I casting, where that's actually been the case. They actually held the send, so I had nothing but praise. Speaking of praise, are you getting praise in the chat?
It's either praise or sarcasm. I'm still not sure which. Either way, I'm happy. I'm going to take it as praise no matter what.
Hell
But
yeah.
Seto, it looks like the sends are being queued up, and they are pretty deadly indeed. We've got Needler, we've got the moles coming out from the worst moles, we've got Ram, we've got Centaur, and that is not all because they're able to continue pushing, and they will have a ton of extra Mythium post income as well. So Adams and Isolde, they are kind of in desperate territory right now. Like Isolde's minus 400 value. Adams actually, he's going to be on value once he's finished spending because he did have that stash available. He breaks it open here on the crucial wave 14. Will it be enough for him to hold? It might be. Like, he's got really good unit quality. The badges, of course, phenomenal tanks. The Haven, phenomenal tank. And a couple of boosted veterans here for DPS as well. That could just be a clutch hold there from Adams. Obviously, the 3.4k value helps as well. But Isolde receiving this send, I just don't see a good outcome here for Lil Bro. The Phoenix goes down rather quickly. The front line crumbles. The gun is dead. And that is a huge leak there for Isolde. 120%. Adams, is the stash going to be enough? It's close. The wave is dead, but I don't think he ever kills that Needler. And Seto, that will be enough to close out the game here, I think. 69% HP on the King. It's a funny number, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
The funny number surely won't prevail. That Needler made it up to an extraordinary amount of stacks there. I mean, they do have 5 attack, but...
Is it enough? I mean, it's close. One more King spell?
No.
Oh, that was close. But
Oof.
the worst moles, they do close out the game here on wave 14, and that was style, I think, for those guys. So let me just go back to that wave 11, right? Because Fake One and Pakistan, they both shifted, I think it was around 200 gold each, right? And that made it look like they were pretty heavily undervalued going for a Wave 12 send. So Adams and Isolde, who I'm pretty sure wanted to save on Wave 12, but the fact that Pakistan and Fake One both projected that they're really heavily pushed, really far under value, left them with no choice, especially because Isolde, he had a very long Wave 11 with that AFK gun, right? So Adams and Isolde, they got scared, they fell into the trap, they sent on Wave 12. Pakistan and Fake One, they both full held against the 400, nearly 500 Mythium Sands, and the game was just over at that point. That one play turned the game from dead even to absolutely crushing defeat in favour of the worst moles. So credit where credit is due, that play was fantastic and a very well-deserved 2-1 victory there for the worst moles. But Seto, it's not over yet for Adams and Isolde, right? Because we play double elimination day one. They will get one more chance in the lower bracket. But for now, we have our upper bracket decided, so that will be the worst moles. And do we know who they will be playing against in the upper bracket match? Have we got a result yet from the other side? It looks like we do. Oh, wow. And it was an upset, Seto. So Sharks, Shay and Zarks, they actually won 2-1 over the Chaos Chemists. So that is our seed number 8 winning over our seed number 1. Atrocity and Interhole, the highest rated pair in the whole tournament, has been defeated in the first match by the lowest rated pair in the tournament. How about that?
I'm glad I pulled their stats page as well. Let me just say that, because I wasn't expecting it, but I did pull up Shay and Zarks, and Zarks has been playing a lot of Legion this year. They've come onto the field and done really good work. I'm very impressed with them.
Amazing, and great to have some kind of new blood in Nova as well, right? I don't think we've seen Zarks playing the tournament before, so he's here representing the Philippines, I believe, and really fantastic. They've already beaten the top seed in the whole tournament, and I'm really excited to see them play up in the upper bracket match now. They will have to play against the worst poles, and I'm interested to see whether or not they can win that match, because I have to say, based on the last 2 games we've seen, Seto, the worst poles are in terrifying form right now. So guys, we will have a quick 10-minute break right now for the players, for the casters to rest and recuperate, but don't go anywhere, because we will be right back here with that upper bracket match in around 5-10 minutes time. So until then, we'll see you. Goodbye. welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I hope you have been sufficiently soothed there by the Lo-Fi Yozora beats, and you are ready to get hyped up again in time for our next series, which will be, of course, the Worst Moles facing against our underdogs of the tournament, Shay and Zarks, repping Team Sharks. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what these guys have in store for us, because they have just knocked number one seed off their place, their pedestal, let's say, and now they have to prove their mettle up against the Worst Moles, who I've got to say played the previous series phenomenally well. So mad props there to Fake One and Pakistan. Their gameplay was pretty much spotless, I think. So I'm kind of worried for Team Sharks, but look, they have just knocked down the number one seed, so maybe they've got what it takes to take down the Worst Moles as well. We're about to find out. Seto, what do you think about this matchup here today?
We know that Shay is a good and established player. They haven't played a lot this year. Maybe they're a little bit rusty. They are still the Mega Mind picker, as pretty much all the top players kind of are. But Zarks is a little bit more of a known quantity. He does not trust Jules to pick his role for him. He wants to play Fiesta. He wants to play Miner. He wants to play Cartel. He wants to play Stash. So basically, he wants to play pretty aggressively every time he clicks that button. So not leaving anything to chance. At least he goes and he tries to control his own fate. He is a very aggressive player, but he wants to be in charge and he wants to be making moves every time he goes. We know that Packy and the Fake One, we know that they 100% can handle heat, but occasionally, they still might take a shot or two. So I'm excited to see how it's going to go. I'm still going to lean predictably on the side of our legend players here in Packy and the Fake One.
I mean, if we take it just on like the elo of each team, then Fake One and Pakistan, of course, should be heavily favoured, but not as favoured as Atrocity and Enderhole were in the first match, which, of course, Sharks won. So I'm kind of curious to see what they have in store for us, and whether our underdogs can prevail once again here in the upper bracket match. Remember, Seto, whoever wins this series here is guaranteed a place in tomorrow's semi-final. Now, the loser still has one more chance in that the last chance match, aptly named. But the winner is guaranteed the spot in the semi. And not only that, but it's the favoured spot, right? Because you face the lower seeded team from the second group. So it's really important to try and win here to guarantee your spot, to guarantee your position. And we'll have to see. Will Sharks have what it takes to take down the Worst Moles? I'm really excited to find out. And here it is, game number one.
So speaking of that aggression, we do see another AOA, which could lead to another one of those spicy 11s, possibly 12. We do see Divine and Hero, which can counter that a little bit. Divine usually is like that one extra shot at holding, as it's, kind of giga stats on some unit to hold some big send. That is its goal. If it goes down early or does something silly, you kind of get egg on your face. So hopefully you don't put your Divine on an egg. That's very silly. But we do see the aggressive spell here from Shay and Zarks with the Cartel Fiesta, a classic combo.
Yeah, interesting. It has to be said, Zarks doesn't really have a great Fiesta opener, it's fair to say. I wonder if he could cook something up with like a Gargoyle and a Serpent.
I know that 3 Gargoyles is a bad Fiesta, but it is a Fiesta. The Serpent is very strong in the Fiesta field. Because his opponents know he might be Fiesta, the Gate Guard, when it was an option, could have been an option, but he's going for the Treant here, which we see 2 of. Kind of interestingly.
Oh, he even receives a snail, by the way. So the Fiesta has been sniffed, but he's going to be absolutely fine here with the Treant. So I assume he just pushes up to 6 workers and maybe tries to Pro League on wave 2. But for now, everybody is holding, including Pakistan, who actually had No, I was going to say a more risky opener, but he has a Gargoyle paired with a Tempest. He's absolutely playing this one safe.
Mm-hmm. No, he was totally fine. Interestingly, we did see Treant opener earlier with the rats, and we saw Treant and hunted rats. But since he's Fiesta, maybe he's thinking he doesn't want long waves with those rats. He wants that Mythium and those workers now.
Yeah. With 3 rats, isn't he just easily holding?
Yes, he is.
Huh. Does Zarks know how Fiesta works?
Yes, presumably. It is his most played mastermind, so I believe he knows how it works, yes.
I guess he was just expecting a snail here, like a post-income snail, but Fake One with that Priestess Angler opener just didn't even have enough Mythium to send 20.
Yeah, that's actually one of the feels bad moments of opening with 230 value, is you don't get workers into that Fiesta right away.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Zarks needed one less rat to be able to try and leak there on wave 2, but it's fine. He's just playing Castle with no upside right now.
He is also going to hold here as well, I believe.
He is at least
Yikers.
6 workers. No, I think he
Yes.
should leak here, right? Like, we'll find out.
Snake strong. It's the strongest unit in the game.
Yeah, it even perfectly like tanks a couple there to keep the heat off of the Treant. Wait a minute. Treant does go down. Will this be enough for our first Fiesta of the game here on wave 3? It's close. It looks like we will, yeah. Okay, 39%. Pretty fine there for Zarks.
No, it's a good Fiesta. Obviously, you would have liked to have had a few more before wave 3, but it's fine. At least we're doing the thing now where we make the money.
And he's also doing the thing where he saves the Mythium, as is our boy Shay, by the way. So both of them on quite a scary amount of Mythium already. And looking at these boards, I think they might just be going straight wave 6. Now, that's interesting because, like, Pakistan does have Berserker in his role, so he's got a very good answer to that wave. But basically everything on both players' board is pretty weak to 6 right now.
Correct. Which, you know, when you're identifying the wave you'd like to send in the early game, that's when it's the most risky because your opponent still has the most cards hidden up their sleeve. Like, there's still so many options. Wave 5 would be a mistake. Packy here sending... Fake One sending here.
I think that's
make
great,
this
honestly.
wave even scarier.
I think that's a really good read from Pakistan and Fake One. Like, they understand that they're both weak on 6. They understand that Shay and Zarks are going for this long save early play, and they just try to undercut it. So they go for this full send here on wave 5. Now, Shay and Zarks are not over-pushed, so they might do okay, but the sends are still pretty big, right? Like, it's 2 Robos, it's a Brute for Shay. Let's see how they do. Now, the Robos are going to get picked off relatively quickly, in fact extremely quickly here for Zarks, but his front line is kind of dead. The Scorpion King goes down now. I guess that's a baby leak for him. Meanwhile, in Shay's lane, kind of a bit baby leak as well, right? It's going to be Brute +2.
Yep. I think this was a mistake, but...
Well, it creates a really long wave, and Shay and Zarks, they both have like 170 Mythium stored already.
Yep, that's a lot of Mythium.
There's the Mimic.
Oh, not the Mimic.
Yeah, and you know what? The Mimic is even better because Pakistan is going to go for that Berserker here on 6, like, without a doubt. He even has to sell a Buzz to be able to afford it. So things kind of going from bad to worse here for Pakistan. I mean, yeah, look, Berserker's fantastic on 6, but it's pretty bad against Mimic, and he's lost a decent amount of value selling Buzzes as well. Fake One, let's have a look at him. I mean, he's receiving the Mole that we've seen do so well so far.
Yep, Mole is going to be a really, really good send-in to him. The Brute is okay. Like, the Brute is kind of just in case he got the KP. Otherwise, I would have much rather seen the Robos into all of that dog spam. And, I mean, even the Skelly spam pretty much.
I have to say, Fake One's Priestess tanks absolutely perfectly. Like, it tanked 2 Roccos and effectively negated all of the damage from both of those Roccos, so really strong positioning there. Pakistan leaks 67, Fake One leaks 82, and I think I'm starting to see how it was that Sharks took down our #1 seed, because this heavy early game pressure proving difficult even for the worst moles to deal with.
Absolutely. Interestingly, the Mimic did die from Pakistan. Somehow he did.
I guess the Brute must have focused it, right? It's the only way he could kill it. Sorry, the Berserker must have focused it.
Yeah. Maybe a Buzz died to it and poisoned it.
Yeah.
I am not entirely sure. I wasn't paying attention as I was engaged so deeply into the Fake One's lane.
But now, Seto, I mean, like, the Julesometer already quite heavily in favour of the Sharks, and I can see why. Worst moles, they're below half of their King HP. They've played a couple of regen now, just to try and remedy that somewhat, but I don't know. I mean, Shay and Zarks, they have the worker lead by some margin, and they are stockpiling those crucial bricks already for another send. When do you think it's going to come?
This time, with better knowledge, I still think... do we ever... Like, I can see 9 a little bit, but I think we might income once or twice and then go for a 10 or that AOA 11 play.
I don't think Shay and Zarks know what income is. I think they're power mercs or bust, baby.
Well, I see value and I think, well, no point in saving. Shay has no real units on the wave. He just has these trees. He's got a bunch of baby harpies. Yeah, I mean, I guess the game can't go long if this is our board.
Yeah, this is like an absolute all-in here from Sharks. Like, it's a pure early game build, it's pure early game play, and what's more, Shay's on Cartel, right? So with such a starved early game like this, if Pakistan and Fake One somehow survive the next send and take this to the mid game, I mean, Shay's just dead. Like, he's out of the game on wave 11.
So we do see the Fake One here getting the full Kingpin. Like, no more stacks for him. Kind of recognizing the position, but he's not going to be benefiting from that.
Shay can send a 4-eyes if he wants to. Yeah, there we go. Wave 9 4-eyes. Let's go. Huh.
Dogs. Lots of dogs.
Yeah. I mean, he does have Hardened Mudman as well for Fake One, but he's actually going for the damage option, so he drops the Millennium here. That's a pretty good shout, honestly, because, I mean, 4-eyes is phenomenal damage, but if Fake One can just destroy the entire wave with his Millennium, while all of his, like, little units just tank the 4-eyes forever, he might do very well. He's also plus value, by the way.
Oh, he stashed. Good read.
Yeah, great read. I mean, if he didn't stash, they might have just lost the game here. They still might, even with the stash. 4-eyes is killing the Kingpin real quick. It would have done the same to Hardened Mudmen, by the way. Meanwhile, Pakistan, I mean, he's basically on value as well, but he will be leaking decently. He does kill one more with the Dragon. 58% leak there. And Fake One does fantastically well with the stash usage, but still leaking the 4-eyes. Only on half HP, though. This might be enough for the Kingsguard boosted King to survive. I think it will be. The 4-eyes dies before it gets to ramp up to any decent amount of damage. So, a very clutch hold there from Fake One, almost completely holding the 240 send. And yes, in fact, the Julesometer has barely shifted from that one. So sure, Worst Mole's very low on King HP, but remember Shay's Cartel, and he's giga-starved this early game. His role, very early game focused as well. He's going to fall off the edge of a cliff over the course of the next few waves.
Yep, the Cartel is not great, especially if they pair it with the AOA. So if they do pair it with the AOA, that's essentially their last shot at winning the game, I think. Wave 10 here, nobody spends any Mythium. Very smart, giving everyone just a minute here to breathe, but also prepare for the next punch. And, I mean, the fake one wasn't going to be great on this wave anyway, so there was an option for a bit of a resend, I think.
Oh, both sides save here on 11 as well. Okay.
There's the extra hold that we were talking about at the beginning.
Yeah. Divine Blessing on an Azaria, one of the best targets in the whole game for that Legion spell. Obviously gets a lot of bonus value from the heal on the extra HP, and uses the attack speed very well as well, honestly.
Oh, certainly. And I also love the hero. Anything that has an aura already gets just triply benefited with that hero aura, you know. So this Hades is eventually going to be Giga.
Yeah. Now, Zarx is taking the hero spell as well, huh? And Shay on the Divine Blessing? I don't know that I like those choices, Seto. Like, it feels to me that Sharks are already all in at this point. So, you're kind of all in, but then trying to come back out a bit? I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I think I'd prefer their odds if they just went balls to the wall with the all-out assault. And they're even sending here on 12 without taking the aggressive spell. I think that's a really big mistake.
I definitely agree. So Shay's value, everyone's value is still sub 200 basically, or income, and that's not very usual at these level games for it to be 15 worker or 12, right? So this is a heavily starved game. This game is not going late. They could there's them pulling the trigger last wave would have made sense to me. It would have made a lot of sense to me. So.
Their best chance to win this game, like 100%, was to take the all-out assault and close it out on 11 or 12. I'm kind of worried because, remember, these sends should effectively have an extra 115 Mythium on top, and I think that might be the difference between Worst Moles dying and living here.
That Azaria is just so goddamn beautiful.
Yeah. Imagine if there was an extra couple of brutes in there.
Absolutely.
Or another mole! Yeah, it's a hold. Like, Fake One's easily holding. Pakistan leaks 77, but Fake One not only holds, he's going to be able to cover that in the mid as well, right?
He's going to be able to cover a chunk, if not everything. This Azaria with that Divine Blessing is so strong.
Yeah, it won't die. It won't die. This game was kind of just thrown, I think, by Shay and Zarx not taking the aggressive spell in the position that they were in. Now
killing this Azaria is over.
I'm really worried for them now. Like, the Julesometer is saying there's 72% chance to win this game, but I just don't see it. I think Pakistan and Fake One are going to win from here.
This resend is a little bit weird. It's a good resend, as in, you know, no one, Zarx and Shay aren't great here, but it's not really a lot of Mythium. They were low on workers. They only had 15 workers.
Yeah,
they did not have a lot to do here.
It's super low Mythium, but Shay is garbage on this wave, and I think he's probably going to lose his Divine Blessing. It's also a double shutdown if they do leak, by the way.
Ah, that's okay. That is the piece that I didn't notice. So yes, they need to kill the Shadow Dancer, because not killing the Shadow Dancer here would be devastating.
Oh, they need to get leaks. Like, the fact that they resent here on 13, they need to get value from it. Not just killing the Blessing, which does go down now.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a leak there on Zarx, 67%. There's a leak here on Shay as well. He does kill one more creep, but still that's 40%. That's 2 shutdowns. That's a bunch of leak gold as well. So just watch the gold totals here for Pakistan and Fake One. 355, 430. And when all is said and done, we have... I mean, it's just so much leak gold. It's absolutely insane.
It's still going up.
It's still going up. That's 200 gold each. 200 gold each, Seto, from that resend. Now, all they need to do is survive this wave 14, and the Worst Moles have won the game.
Yep. That was kind of sick. So yeah, about 200 gold plus. Did the shutdowns, did you include that as well?
No, the shutdowns happened before I started counting gold. So they got
outstanding.
Over 200 gold each from that wave 13 play. So really, really great call there from the Worst Moles. And I mean, they're still undervalued, but they're looking kind of decent here on 14. Hardened Mudmen, Full Doomsday, Divine Blessing Azeria. Like, that looks like a hold for me.
Yeah, if this doesn't hold, I am going to be very shocked. I'm wrong often enough. However, let's see these ogres do work. Are they going
This
to
is
do...
crucial. The Azeria needs to survive. It is perfectly tanking the ogre. It does survive easily,
Yep.
by the way. Just absolutely chunking the wave. The second ogre goes down. That looks like a hold to me. I mean, sure, Pakistan, he's leaking here. But guess what? He's already bottom power score. He's not the crucial player on the side of the Worst Moles. That moniker falls to Elon. The fake one here, he does hold. His Azeria does survive. Will it tank too much? It does full tank in the mid. That's really unfortunate. If his Doomsday had tanked, he would have kept that Divine Blessing, I think. But now he will obviously lose it, but also take king damage, just because of the way the troops lined up in the mid. That's very unfortunate, but guess what, Seto? They stockpiled their bricks on the previous wave, and here comes the coup de grace, the finishing blow from the Worst Moles. We've got a massive amount of Mythium here. Triple Brute, Pack Leader, Shaman, Mole, and a bit more to come post-income. Shay and Zarks, I mean, they just don't have the value, I think.
No, I mean, the minute that the fake one becomes mortal again, aka when his divine blessing is lost, they have gone for what is probably the final blow. As you notice, the coup de grace. I think they're going to put their opponents out of their misery. However, if that's the case, that means that Pakistan and the fake one have lost their two very defensive centric spells, and without those spells, it is very possible that they would have lost that early aggression. Like fake one stashed on the exact right wave.
Yeah, he's a beast.
The King's Guard, obviously did a ton of work since they were sub 50% HP before the game even started, basically. So.
And yeah, so look at this. Shay is getting absolutely overwhelmed. That is a massive leak from him. I mean, Zarks has done pretty well, but that's a leak from him as well. And yes, there we have it. The Worst Moles absolutely bringing this one back from the brink of disaster. I think they were sub 20% win probability a couple of waves ago. And look, it really, for me, Seto, it really comes down to that wave 12 play, right? There was an all-out assault on the table. Shay and Zarks, they both did not take it. And guess what? Fake One was able to hold. He was able to full cover his teammate as well in the mid. Didn't even lose that Divine Blessing to do so. And I just have to imagine if there was 115 extra Mythium from both players, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, they win the game on 12. So I think a big mistake there from Shay and Zarks. They were in a really strong position. They were 80% win chance according to Jules, right? And all they needed to do was take the aggressive spell and win the game on 12. But they decided to hedge their bets. They're like, okay, but what if it doesn't work? We might want a buff spell for later in the game. Well, guess what, guys? You lose!
The simple fact is the damage was already done. Like, we passed wave 10, so your cartel has already hit you. The early aggression from all of your real sends, that lack of income has already hit you. They needed to just... It is okay to damage yourself as long as you're doing more damage to your opponent and not let up. And we see the effects there as a result in this game. So... deeply unfortunate. It was very exciting, and then the misplay was, I think, obvious enough that they won't do that again.
Yeah, it was just really. It surprised me, honestly, because I think Sharks were playing very well through that early game, but what's more, they had a really clear plan, right? They were all in. They were going for very, very starvy gameplay, and that type of gameplay is quite coin flippy. It is quite all in. I also happen to think it is the correct way to play when you are the underdog, right? Because if you kind of go head to head and just try to match income, you're really likely to lose in that situation as the lower rated team, right? So I like the fact that they go for this kind of coin flippy, high risk, high reward gameplay. But if you're doing that, you have to commit to it. If you are all in, you have to go all in. You can't keep a couple of chips back to pick the hero spell or the divine blessing spell, because the only way you win by playing all in is by going all in and winning the game on 12, right? Like, I don't know, man. Their gameplay was so, like, focused and really on point, and then they just deviate from that plan, and it bites them in the ass.
For sure. Yeah, it's like arguing with an idiot. You don't play that game because they will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. In this case,
Hmm.
these guys have to play at a different level if they can't play at the top level. So I really like your analysis. It makes perfect sense. I was from it. I was able to make my own bad argument, and we do have a lobby, so we are now able to at least have a home and focus on the actual commentary here.
Mhm. It looks like okay. So the worst moles have asked for a couple of extra seconds here before we start the game. So I mean, look, I think I've made my thoughts quite clear there on the way Sharks played the previous
Mhm.
game. Normally at this point, I would ask, what do they need to do differently in game number two? But I think that answer kind of tells itself. What do you think, Seto?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. We've already kind of answered this question. If you're going to do that thing, just do that thing. Don't deviate from the theme. Don't start showing a whole different movie
Hmm.
after you played this one for the whole time, you know? Play that game, do that thing. I think interestingly almost is if they are to play that same game again, what do the fake one and Pakistan do to counter that? Because they had pretty much the best two masterminds to counter that kind of gameplay, and they played him perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. That's also pretty solid as well, I would say. Like the fact that they had Kingsguard may very well have saved them, because I think they were down to like sub 30% HP at one point, right? And they may have just died to the early game aggression if they didn't have that defensive Kingsguard mastermind, right? So that's off the table now. They won't be able to pick Kingsguard again. So maybe this time around, if Shay and Zarks go for a similar um, high pressure, high starve early game, they might just die by wave 10, right? In which case, Shay and Zarks won't have the ability to make a mistake by not picking all out assault on their wave 12 send. Uh, we'll have to see. Okay, looks like the players are ready, so hopefully we can get game number two underway. Now, remember, guys, if the worst moles do win here in game number two, they are guaranteed that spot in tomorrow's semi-finals. So, really, quite a lot on the line for them here. They would just like to end the series now and be able to relax, because I think it's fair to say, while they did win that game, Pakistan and Fake One must have been sweating, right? Like they were massively unfavored by like wave 10, wave 11, and they were kind of bailed out, not through their own gameplay, but through a bit of a blunder on the part of their opponents, right? So, I mean, let's see. Can Shay and Zarks make game number two a little bit more consistent? We're about to find out, because here it is, game two.
So if uh, Shay and Zarks don't want to play like we'll call them the high low players, can Hockey and the fake one, can they play at like Shay and Zarks? And I asked this question because we do see similar high octane gameplay. Zarks to picking the cartel this time,
Mhm.
and Shay with a redraw. This time, Fake One with just the cheaper version of redraw, and Pakistan with the lock in. Uh, they're not trying to play Shay and Zarks' game. They are trying to play their own game and just win with their pinkies up, um, and seeing where it goes from there. Shay is taking what could be a risky start, and never mind. They are. I don't know what they're doing. They're perfectly positioning that chained fist for eventually maybe a serpent later on.
Hmm.
Shay question mark pinging the Royal Guard. I like the Royal Guard open as long as you have something to back it up, like Rangers or Serpents.
You like it?
As
Interesting. I think it's horrendous. Let's find out.
it has very obvious weak waves, but that extra 18% damage reduction or something that it gets is actually kind of sneakily goated.
Hmm.
But yeah, like as long as you're charging it up early and in advance, it's a good thing. But if you're just placing down a shit ton of them on 11, it's not as good. Um, but as for an opener, it's not the worst thing. You can use a lot of cheap units to help support it.
Is it
Cheap
not just
tiers.
completely dead value on 3, even if it does have a bit of damage reduction at that point? I don't know. I guess he has the Serpent, which is pretty good on 3, so maybe he's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. That'll be a good test. I can't wait to be wrong. I'm okay with that. So we do see another Lumerian. I'm excited about that. There is no re-roll option though for Packy. He's already kind of solidified his role. This is his role until the end of time. So
Oh, is
hopefully he's
the...
happy with
Oh,
this.
no, it's an easy hold. Never mind. I thought we might see a bit of a leak there for Fake One, but the Boppin Oathbreaker was more than enough. And here's a Robosend, so I think it's fair to say that the Royal Guard is about to be put to the test. Zarks does add the Serpent, so does give him the ability to kill that Robo, maybe quite quickly. We'll have to see. And how much he pulls to the right is really important here as well.
Mm-hmm. So if this goes great, I told you so. If this goes terribly, he picked a Robo. That's basically cheating. I had no shot.
Alright, I mean... The Serpent does pull 2, and it will get straight onto the Robo after this. But yeah, this is kind of what I mean. Like, yeah, sure, you've got 19% damage resistance, but you're still a Royal Guard on wave 3, right? You're still natural armor with impact damage. He's doing very, very well. Pakistan does leak 39% to the DT send, and his teammate's going to hold, but barely. I mean, Zarks, he leaks 39% to the Robo, so that is a one trade in that regard, right? Because Pakistan leaked the same amount to an income send.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so told you so. Basically, I mean, a little bit of.
Yeah, Royal Guard opener is overpowered. That's what I said all along.
Anyway, moving on from that, now we just have good unit all the way up until 7. We did see just the babyest leak here out of Fake One. Honestly, his stacks coming along pretty well. Like you would have had just a handful more on that angler, and maybe you could have thought about upgrading it here, but you already have a crap ton of fortified.
I think you prefer the workers over taking the bounty hunter anyway. So,
Chaos is just that kind of giveth and taketh type mastermind.
yeah. Now, Shay and Zarks, they have begun to stockpile those bricks once again. This time around, though, their Mythium count is looking significantly less scary than it was at this point in the prior game. I mean, I could definitely still see a 6 working against Fake One, but Pakistan has the Pipsqueak, the new unit, which is fantastically strong on 6, and it looks like Shay and Zarks agree because they are just going for an income send here on 5, in which case I think Pakistan and Fake One are going to do just fine.
Yep. Fully agree. I think the next might be big wave is some wave you think you can attack this cat and Oathbreaker on, which honestly for the next couple waves is pretty much any of them. I mean, Brutes on 7 is typically pretty good counter into that kitty cat there. Sometimes 8 is still good with those Brutes. 9, honestly. So right now, Shay showing not a great board for the next couple waves, but at the same time, they do have answers potentially for those next couple waves with only 2 units shown. Not that it matters with them being redraw, but...
Oh, okay. This time around, it's Shay and Zark's turn to just basically income send through the early game, while Pakistan and Fake One, they're starting to save their Mythium in return. So maybe not happy with the way the first game went, even though it was a win. Pakistan and Fake One deciding to put on a bit more pressure here in game number 2.
Yep. So they are changing their game plan up a little bit here. Obviously, king upping for them isn't as beneficial as it was in the previous games for Fake One, but still, a very high pressure game for them, which I think is not the majority of what we've seen from them. We have been seeing good sends from them all day, but not necessarily Starvey gameplay.
And they just go for income here, so I like it. They're applying pressure, and they're kind of correctly reading that Xian's arcs are just on high value, so let's just income send. But they're keeping them honest, is the point. So look at the worker differential here, Seto. We've got 12 and 11 versus 8 and 8. They're so far ahead in the economic game, and that gap is only going to widen. They have more income, significantly more workers, and I really like the position here for Pakistan and Fake One.
Fully agree. It's only wave 7, and they're both plus 10 workers, so double digits is very nice. Here, it is expected, but it's also very nice. Zarx, however, being starved a little bit, and being a little bit afraid of this wave because he's got that Royal Guard, so he wasn't able to push as well as he maybe wanted to, but he does have that OP Snake. I don't know what he's afraid of, as that is easily the best unit in the game right now.
Yeah.
What's
interesting, by the way, is Xian's arcs are still lower workers, even after getting that send on 7. Alright, they've pushed a couple now, so they've finally closed the gap, but it's taken them like 2 or 3 waves to do so.
Yeah, and it's the difference between that 20 Mythium. So Pakistan is sitting on 390, whereas Zarx is sitting on 350. It's a 40 Mythium difference,
Yeah, and this is kind of exactly what I meant. Before the game, we were talking about if you're the underdogs, I like the choice to go for the kind of coin flippy, high risk, high reward gameplay. And the reason I gave for that was if you try to go head to head with a team who is just on paper better, like in terms of elo, you're going to lose. And look at the way this game is going right now. We've got 60% advantage for the worst moles. They have way higher incomes. Sure, Zarx is applying pressure now, but is it too little too late? Especially if they're not applying pressure together.
So they're not applying pressure together, and it's pressure from one wave. Like, Zarx is pushing really hard here. This is the only wave where Pakistan is kind of not great for a little while. So these 3 brutes and potentially 4 brutes, they need to come in here and they need to do work. I actually wouldn't have minded a safety mole here. I think a safety mole would have been good.
He should leak, right? Like, by rights, he should leak here.
It's so hard to say sometimes. He should leak. I fully agree. His typing is bad on paper.
And that is 240 Mythium for him to deal with. The Lumerian's tanking really quite nicely. It is getting the debuff from the brutes, and remember, it does need attack speed in order to ramp. But it looks like it's just split tanking absolutely perfectly there for Pakistan. That was phenomenal. It survives on the barest sliver of HP, which is exactly what you want your DPS units to do. Like, he will leak, but he's killed 3 of the 4 brutes and most of the wave against a 240 send on his weak wave.
Yep. That's deeply unfortunate. You almost would rather have income sent there, as you wouldn't have shot yourself in the foot as much.
Yeah, 100%. And now here comes the counterattack from Pakistan and Fake One. The sends are not huge, honestly, here on Wave 10, but look at Zarx. He's so far undervalued. It's crazy. This is the cartel player. You're supposed to have the best early game in the lobby, and he's 300 undervalue on Wave 10. While not even really having a worker advantage. In fact, he's behind in income.
Yep. We are seeing red value here out of Zarx with fine enough units.
He's in trouble.
But yep. Ooh. Serpent sting off the boss that little bit of extra time.
Does kill the robo though, so it is going to reduce the percentage leak and the gold loss. Shay's actually doing fantastically well. Like, he leaks the boss on an absolute sliver of HP there. I thought he would do much worse. But Zarx, that's kind of what I expected. Half HP boss, full HP mole. Decent bit of king damage here being dealt to the side of Sharks.
Yep. The Julesometer is going to land on 69. Damn it.
Oh, it's close. 73.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's playing, like, games with my art right now. He jumped right over it by a decent margin. It was not fair.
I would guess they're going for a wave 12 play now. Huh.
Yes.
I mean, Fake One even took Creditor. He is not scared.
Yeah, he's got good value for a while now. He's got magic damage for this wave, fort tank for this wave and next. He's got everything really he kind of wants for a little while here. He can put down a gun next if he wants more Pierce, but he doesn't want to devalue his 13 that bad because then he's got nothing for 13.
Meanwhile, Zarx is in absolute dire straits here. Our cartel player, who is starving, perhaps a bit too much, but again, too late. Like, he played income heavy in the early game and it kind of backfired. And now he's on 100 income on wave 11 because that cartel penalty's kicked in while he continues to save Mythium. So I'm really worried for the longevity of Zarx's game here.
He went Creditor as well, which is bold.
Yeah. I mean, he's leaking no send, right? Or maybe the Shadow Dancer's enough? No, the Shadow Dancer's going to go down. Like, the clones have 0 HP. Yeah. I mean, it's only 33%. It's not the worst, especially if they do want to go for a wave 12 send, which they do.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
Now, we do get the multi-mole tech coming out from Shay. Let's see, will it be enough to break through the Kingpin here in Fake One's lane?
Okay, so Fake One has every option he could possibly want this wave. He could still Creditor and probably hold this wave, which is insane to say. Not the biggest fan of the Grarl. I think putting down a Grarl with no purpose post 10 isn't usually that good, but I guess value is value. But
he full spends. Okay, he was just doing the math to work out what he needed to sell for the King Claw. He did have enough.
Gotcha.
Oh, the game's paused. Okay, well, now we have a bit more time. It looks like Zarx has disconnected. So we're just kind of here in limbo, just wondering whether these sends are going to do the trick. Pack leader there, slowly banging his drum, waiting to go, with his friend, the Ogre and the Brute next to him.
I actually love the pack leader send into the ramping build with bad. Like, he's got so much Swift. What is that? 1,000 Swift value?
Yeah. Oh, Pakistan's going to leak. Like, that's not even in question. I think he's going to leak quite badly. In fact.
Yeah.
But the real question is Fake One, and I like the fact that he did not greed his Creditor here. He's gone all in to hold like his teammates' weak wave. I think he should hold easily, and I think he's going to be able to cover most, if not all, of Pakistan's leak in the mid as well.
I will jive with that answer. Yep.
Hopefully, Zarx is able to reconnect sooner rather than later, because there's only so long that we can talk about nothing happening.
Well, let's go ahead and zoom in real close to some of these units and hear their sound effects. What? Oh, no, that's not even working. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, so the initial pause has worn off, the disconnect pause, but of course the players are more than happy to wait for Zarx to return. Well,
it's funny how little works while we're paused.
Oh, he's reconnected! Hooray!
Hooray.
I was really struggling to think of anything to say. Okay, so let's see. Pakistan surely leaking badly here against the 420 Mythium send on his weak wave 12. In fact, yeah, his front line is crumbling. The Lumerians... I mean, wait, he's actually doing really well. That's wild. What? Is Lumerian broken? Is Ogre
It's
just that
broken.
bad? He cleared the entire wave. He leaks just the Ogre. And meanwhile, the player who I thought would hold easily is Fake One, and he's kind of doing worse than his teammate. All right.
Okay. Let's go back to your previous statement really quickly here. Is Lumerian broken and is Ogre that bad? If the answer is yes to both of those, that is worst case scenario for Zarks.
I feel like the answer may be maybe yes to both of those. Like,
Uh-huh.
what? Pakistan should have been dead on 12. Like, by rights, all of his units are garbage there. What? And Shay flaming his teammate, saying that the bot sent.
No. I think the bot actually sent for him. Zark still has that Q next to his name, which means the bot could do a thing in his stead. I've seen it before.
Oh no, I don't think he means on 12.
That's correct.
I
No,
think
he means
here on 13, yeah.
That's correct, yep.
Huh. Huh. Okay, well, I think this game's over.
Yep. I'm going to agree with that. So the bot definitely sent for him here. I do not believe the bot sent for him last wave.
No.
Which I'm not sure if that's what Shay is saying. But yeah, anyway. Yes, the game is in such bad shape that I don't know what to talk about because it's not good.
Okay, the game is playing, but if this Ogre was in fact sent by the bot, then I mean, look, the game's over. The worst moles are massively favoured. They're sending enough Mythium here to absolutely crush their opponents on 13. So I don't think the bot sending an Ogre when they wanted to save is going to make the difference. But it still hurts, right? I just don't think it's that impactful. So let's see, 540 Mythium for Shay, 600 Mythium for Zarks. Both players heavily undervalue here on wave 13, and I think they are going to crumble.
Yep. All players now kind of understanding what this Ogre means. However, as you said, it doesn't really matter. The game was over here anyway. If anything, that Ogre was more value for Zarks to spend, I guess.
You could say that it's all Ogre.
You could say that, and when you said it's impactful earlier, I thought you were making a joke then, and maybe you were, I don't know. But it was very funny.
I'm glad someone appreciates my jokes, because I know for sure Twitch chat does not. So, alright, we have a 2-0 there. A bit of a shame that it was so anticlimactic at the end of the game there with all of the disconnects. Very unfortunate. Yeah. I don't think it made the difference for Team Sharks. I think that game was all but done for no matter what already at that point. But it still sucks. So hopefully Team Sharks have better luck in the last chance match, which is coming right up, because that was a very quick 2-0 in the upper bracket there for Fake One and Pakistan. In fact, we might still have that lower bracket going on. Let's see. So who's playing in that lower bracket? It is
Genome again.
Atrocity versus Genome, right? So let's see if we have a scoreline for those guys. We do. That's 1-1. Okay, so Seto, we should be able to get into game 3 for Chaos Chemists versus Big Bro Lil Bro. So apologies for the hiccups there, Twitch chat. Hopefully we can get an uninterrupted game 3 between Chaos Chemists and Big Bro Lil Bro. I don't see their lobby yet.
I don't see their lobby, and I tried to spectate, so they're not in a game. And my game crashed. That happens.
Okay, we do have a lobby. We do have a lobby.
All right, relogging.
Let's hop in. Pretty cool that the upper bracket ends at the exact moment that the game 3 for the lower bracket is about to begin. Uninterrupted content there for the people at home.
Very smooth, almost scripted.
Almost scripted, but obviously we wouldn't script 10 minutes of pause while the casters have to, kind of paddle water to try and keep ourselves afloat. Some would say unsuccessfully as well.
Yeah, no, that was painful. We were scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's how you make an argument for it's totally not scripted. So Adamas, we've already seen today. Isolde, we saw today. Atrocity, we have not seen. And is it into hole or two? It's Tupla today. So these are two remarkable players. I love Atrocity so much. He's got an insane brain. He's the guy who finds the thing that's broken and abuses the hell out of it. And I hate that, and I love that because it's what I aspire to be.
Oh, what? It's looking like the previous game ended to a forfeit when In the Hole leaked 75% to no send. Yeah, okay.
That'll do it.
So the game prior, Atrocity and In the Hole suicide pushed for a wave 17 send, and well, Isolde full held. Adams leaked a single Four Eyes, and they forfeited. So kind of a crushing way there for Chaos Chemists to lose game 2.
All right. Well, at least it's not going to affect their mental, right?
Right?
It's not going to make for a more interesting storyline, is it?
Looking at these two teams, this could easily have been the upper bracket, right? These are two extremely talented teams. Atrocity and In the Hole, obviously the number 1 seed of the tournament. They did somehow lose their first game against Sharks, but everything to play for here in the lower bracket. Remember, now that we are on the lower bracket side, the commentary kind of changes because whoever loses this does not have another chance. Whoever loses this, and remember, it's 1-1 now. We're hopping in partway through the series. So whoever loses the next game is out of the tournament. The winner, they're not secure in the semi-final either. They still have to play that last chance match where they will be meeting Sharks. So we're about to find out who is going to make it into that last chance game and who will be out of the tournament here and now. And their players are ready, so enough padding from me. Let's get straight into game number 3. Chaos Chemists on the left, Atrocity and In the Hole. Big Bro, Little Bro on the right, Adams and Isolde. Game number 3, let's go!
Let's go, indeed. I am seeing right off the bat Executioner. Have you had time to see it in action yet, Penny?
I have. I think Executioner is still very underwhelming, to be honest. I kind of like... I don't even know if I like the idea, honestly. Like, the ability is basically a worse villain, right? Because villain, like the percentages on villain are just better. Also, Executioner does nothing if you leak the creep on low HP, right? Whereas villain, you might have just killed it rather than leak it on low HP. But also the gold that Executioner gives is just nearly always worse than any other economic spell. So I get that it's a hybrid. It's like partially economic, partially a buff. But it's kind of just underwhelming in both regards, right? Like, I think if you want a buff, hero, villain, they're both better. I think if you want economy, creditor, even allowance is just better.
Cast allowance.
Even yeah, like quite often with Executioner, you won't generate 100 gold from it until like wave 16, wave 17. So I just take allowance, man. Like, it's...
So you feel a lot more strongly, and your argument was more articulate than mine, because I was just going to say it does not feel good. It sucks. It is whelming. It's worse than pretty much any other single spell. So yeah, you did a good job. That was nice. You used a lot of words.
Thank you. Yeah. Many words good, few words bad.
Isolde here is Fiesta, funnily enough, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this is
Pretty
a
clean.
crazy little start. I've never seen this.
All right. Hall is on the stash. Atrocity, he's playing Chaos, so putting the Chaos into the team name Chaos Chemists. Adams, he's on redraw, which is one of his best masterminds, that and Chaos. He is just a filthy RNG abuser. But this is pretty hype. I think this is a really good matchup. We've got we've got Chaos for Atrocity as well, so 2 RNG abusers. And a nice Fiesta there for Isolde. Did add the Buckler here on 2, does receive the Snail. Will it be another Fiesta?
Honestly, if the answer is yes, that's pretty extraordinary. We do now have decent typing, but the Seraphine's going down faster than the wave is. Is there an area like
Ooh,
it's
Adams
slowing,
leaks to the
the
Snail
other
as
side's
well.
taking?
I mean, Isolde, this is a pretty clean
Sick.
Fiesta. 2 creep leak to the Snail.
Yep.
They're also saving
One
their
creep.
Mythium, by the way. They can both send 60 on 3 if they want to. I don't think Isolde will send into the Fire Elemental, though. At least not full, like, he might go income. No, he
Yep.
proves me
Nope.
wrong. He goes for the Brute. I mean, I feel like that's a mistake. Huh. I also think this Howler is way too high.
That Howler is yeah, no, perfectly spot on. There's no like this fire elemental is not going to tank anything. The Howler is going to go down so fast that the Brute is going to be on the fire elemental almost straight away. That's probably a misplay.
Atrocity.
What?
I mean, he looks like he's in trouble to me. His Seedler, his Chloropixie is off tanking some, but probably wanted to tank more because his Nightmare goes down very, very quickly. He's now focusing the Brute. He can never kill it. 59% leak for Atrocity. Hole managed to leak with Fire Elemental on 3. I mean, I have to feel that if his Howler was just like 1 square lower, he would just full hold.
Yeah, still yeah.
Huh.
A large amount of wave went onto his Howler, like not unpredictably, but yeah, what can you do?
Well, I mean, they didn't get a crazy amount of damage in, honestly. Like, Chaos Chemist, they're still north of 80% HP. And, of course, the Power Mercenary send means a bit of, like, foregone income there for the side of Big Bro, Little Bro.
Isolde is really, really built too. He's been basically on value. Last wave he didn't leak. He, put down the Wild Shroom, which helped him hold very well. Still had the Seraphine, which is just an amazing unit. He's kind of overbuilding a lot, and is the least workers as
Yeah, as Fiesta. It is curious.
They are saving their Mythium again, though. He's got 80 Mythium this time. Planning on maybe the Mole on 6. I'm not entirely sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, Isolde's got a decent chunk of Mythium as well. In fact, he's almost to 100 here. I think he could quite easily punish Hole on wave 6 himself.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the send into Adams. Okay, yeah. I think both sides are threatening a pretty decent wave 6 send if that is what they want to do. It's difficult being my age, man.
No, it's same, But anyway, the Wave 6, we definitely have time for with the small leak here from Adamus. We have basically the world as our oyster. We can do anything we want next wave, and you have to be afraid.
And Isolde actually goes for the income send here. That's really surprising because Hole looks so bad on 6. Huh.
not trusting his own playstyle, I guess, to do the work that he needs to do here.
Yeah.
He will have the first Royal Guard down, but it will have no benefit. He's got a good amount of Swift. He's got some impact damage, so he's not terrible here. And I guess maybe he just wanted that little bit of extra
This
boost.
thing needs to
but
survive, the Seraphim. Let's see. It does tank 2. It has to focus the second one. It looks like it does. Okay, in which case, Isolde,
Yep.
fantastic positioning.
Looks very good.
Meanwhile, Adams is kind of getting run over here, although he does kill one more Rocco. Atrocity leaking 75%, and Inda Hole holding the income send, which I find quite perplexing. Isolde does very well. In fact, Adams and Isolde both did very strongly here. Sure, they're going to take some king damage, but it's kind of fine. In fact, they're probably going to deal the same amount of king damage while Inda Hole was able to hold. I have to think if Isolde had gone for a full send there, they would be dealing some very serious king damage here on wave 6.
Certainly chunkier damage, I think. Good read here for the resend into Isolde is he has, or had, just straight garbage units for this wave.
Yeah.
And does actually push that extra worker instead of building the... No? What's he doing? Don't know. Oh, he's overbuilding. Good call.
Yeah, that's... I don't know about that one, though. I think that just dies very quickly.
Almost instantly, yes.
Alright, so there is 100 Mythium resend into both lanes. Isolde, I mean, basically doesn't have a good unit for wave 7, so I definitely expect him to leak despite being plus 30. Adams, meanwhile, I mean, the boom tree is about to boom on the wave. There it goes. He kills the brute as a result.
Yep, nope, not bad, especially if we do kill the brute. Isolde's going to darn near hold here. Shame he won't. Well, actually, I'm kidding. He's Fiesta. Good leak.
I mean, he's plus 30 though. Like, even with Fiesta, if you want to overbuild like that, you probably don't want to be leaking at all. Especially when your teammate does leak and now you take king damage.
Well, if I'm Fiesta and I barely hold but my mate leaks, then I feel really upset at everyone. I feel upset at my mate. I feel upset at myself. My opponents for sending good enough. You know.
Yeah, the world is against you.
It's a trade-off.
It's a trade-off. But here we have it, Seto. Now is the counter-attack. On wave 8, we've got Pack Leader from Adams, we've got Mimic from Isolde, Atrocity and Inderhole. What is your answer? Atrocity is going for this Holy Avenger, which is good tank value, but very little DPS. It should kill the Pack Leader quickly, however. Meanwhile, the Mimic, what does... I mean, Inderhole just has value, right? He's on 1,000 value.
Yep. Smartly, the Brute is coming over to the left here to minimize that damage that the Oathbreaker will do.
The Oathbreaker's still alive, though. Really nice split between the Avenger and the Oathbreaker. Does go down now. Should be about a 50% leak there. Mimic dies here in Inderhole's lane, and there it is, exactly 50% for Atrocity. Inderhole, however, with 1,000 value, is just barely leaking. 3 creeps. Okay, very strong performance there from Inderhole. Meanwhile, Isolde leaks to a Dino.
Predictably, as you know, you do want to Fiesta maybe just one more time. It was still a relatively small leak. There is still king damage on both sides, so both kings are looking a little bit weak here. The problem is, well, I feel like our sends are the problem. I feel like the sends this game have been whelming. I think compared to the other games that we've seen, they've not been very impactful in the sense that they've been the correct decision. But with all of that being said here, the Snail does afford Isolde, the Crawling Catapult, an excellent unit for the next couple waves.
Yeah, and that is kind of needed on his board. Like, he has a very tanky board, but not too much DPS, so the Catapult kind of answers that problem for him.
Yep. Once again, he is overbuilt, so he's got a good couple waves worth of tank and DPS, so he is kind of set up for a little bit here. I don't hate the position that he's in, but Adamas and Genome both have the Crawling Catapult. which does have weak waves.
Ooh. They do decide to go for this income send here on 10, but Atrocity and Indahol, they are saving their Mythium. They will easily be able to hold the Wave 10 income sends, especially with the Sovereign, which is fantastic on 10. But more to the point, they're saving their Mythium, and now they have a significant pressure advantage.
Yep. Fully agree here, especially with the Robo Squad potential for just a pretty huge send. I think the Robos are pretty good into both lanes for Isolde and Adamas, so could just be a good read from Atrocity and Indahol, our higher seeded teams, to send here. Oh wow, that is a full Sovereign going ham.
And they're not even sending here on 11. So Atrocity and Indahol, they're looking very scary now. I wonder if it's just going to be 12? And it looks like it. They
12
do
makes a
take
lot of sense to
the
me.
double Robo army. Now, Big Bro, Little Bro, they've got options, right? Because Savior is looking really good for them right now. It's bonus gold. It heals the king as well. And they were around the 50% mark. So Savior's pretty high value, I think.
How do you feel about the changes to Savior that it tells your opponents what you have or what you took? Not that you wouldn't have known.
I like it. I think it's fine. Like you see it anyway, right? You see when their king HP shoots up, you know they've taken Savior. So yeah, fine. Just show it. It doesn't really make a difference.
Yep, kind of agree.
But look at these Mythium counts, Seto. We've got 440 on Atrocity. Indahol not far behind. And, well, the Isolde and Adams are still kind of managing to stay borderline on value. But with this income resend, Atrocity and Indahol, they still don't feel under pressure to send 12. And how are Isolde and Adams going to be able to hold against a mega Wave 13 send, which is surely coming?
Yep, wave 13 being the very, very, very scary wave. Unless we're able to pull out some kind of miracle here from Adamas and roll the perfect unit for 13, we're in kind of a lot of danger. Like, the Lumerian is a good unit, especially if you can get some buffs on it, but Catapult is also good. It's going to be tight. Very spooky next wave.
Yeah. Catapult's fantastic, but you can just send 2 Ghost Knights, right? There's the first.
So, yeah. In fact, both of our players can send 2 Ghost Knights if they want to.
You don't even need to send 2, because both catapults are on the right side, so you can send, like, a Ghost Knight and a Snail, and the Ghost Knight will still tank the catapult. Oh, he really wants... Yes! That leak is huge there for Atrocity. The extra wavelength while they're saving is so good.
Yeah, he basically suied for it. He's at 25 workers when previously he was 15-ish. So, pretty big.
Yeah. Both players, of course, go for the Wandering Trebuchet, by far their best unit choice for Wave 13. Atrocity, he's not sending a Ghost Knight, actually, so the catapult, at least for Isolde, should be able to chew on the wave pretty nicely. Adams, though, his catapult has nothing but a Ghost Knight to chew through, so this could be interesting.
Yep, I think the idea there is the catapult will overkill all of the imps.
Yeah.
But the Ghost Knight, I think both sends are just fine.
Agreed.
And you can see here doing work.
Isolde's getting absolutely crushed. So the imp send, I mean, it was nearly 900 Mythium in Isolde's lane, and here we have it, Seto. Both players leaking north of 100%. This is a big leak. Will they survive this? Because there is a ton reaching the king.
Yup, they do have huge amounts of king ups, and it looks like they could, will live, but that's pretty much curtains, I think. Indahol did receive a GK and 3 king ups last wave and held just fine.
Yeah, and look, like Big Bro, Little Bro, they survived there, but just economically speaking, they're in a very, very rough spot right now. Like, if we look at their income line, Atrocity and In the Hole are way ahead. If we look at value, they're more or less on par. But where it really shows is the worker differential. We've got a combined 60 workers on the side of Atrocity and In the Hole versus 40 on Big Bro Little Bro. They have 50% more workers. That's
correct.
That's pretty crazy.
Yup, Atrocity and Into Hole have 33% more workers than. No, wait, which way? Hold on, 50% that way. Whatever, doesn't matter. I wanted to go the other way. Now I just look silly.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
NA education. What can I say?
We do good math.
Clearly.
We do math good. Anyway, so yeah, double shutdown, and it's a decent, like, it's not that 25, that pesky 25 shutdown where you just hear the annoying announcer. It's that meaningful 50, 75, almost 100 income there. So
there's a
pretty
solo
juicy.
send here? In the hole?
yeah, we're split sending. Do we
That's-
hate that?
I don't love it. I mean, if even if it works, I don't know if I love it because it kind of gives Big Bro Little Bro a chance to
Wait.
survive. Oh, Atrocity sends post income. Okay,
Yeah, that's normal.
all right, interesting. I guess it was just like a last second call, and Atrocity
Yeah.
was too slow, but obviously wanted to go for it anyway. Well, I love that a lot more now that they're sending together.
Yeah. Like, you hate to see the after ink, but it's at least we made a decision.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And actually,
Oh, no, we
Adams
held.
was able to hold, so... Huh. I mean, do they just die to this?
No.
Because the catapult won't attack the boss.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough damage on the king though.
Yeah,
It's
now,
not
now I
multi-shot.
really don't love it. I mean, talk about results-based casting, but yeah, like, Adams full held that send, and they just didn't need to risk it, more to the point. Because Chaos Chemists were very, very far in the lead. I mean, like, we saw the win probability at the top. They were, what, 75, 80% favoured? Now Interhol's on fire.
So for what it's worth, Adamas did sell his old Adam and put down a full Phoenix last wave, so they didn't know that existed, that super duper strong unit existed. However, the problem now is you're forced into a 17 in the best case scenario, of which your opponents, Isolde and Adamas, are both really good, and you are going to have at best the same Mythium despite having all those extra workers.
Yeah. I mean, they also could have won, right? So, like, if Adams didn't redraw into the Phoenix, maybe they just win on 15. So it is a bit one-sided to call it a bad play because of the results. But man, was it a bad play. Like, holy moly. Talk about holy moly. Here's the quintuplets of moles, and it looks like they're conjoined as well. That's a lot of moles for Indahole to deal with. Indahole, onto mole. Yeah. And what's more,
No,
Jules is giving
Euro
them
is so
69
good.
right now. Oh, man.
Oh shit.
This
no.
game just got real, Seto.
I think this is the upset because the Atrocity and Into Hole don't have, like, they're undervalued. They have the Shadow Knight, the Dancers. God damn it, what is their name?
I think they just die here.
But right, they're not strong enough, I think. And if I'm wrong, then cool, whatever. But I think we're about to see the 69 curse.
Yeah. I mean, it all comes down to Indahole's lane, I think, because I think Atrocity's just guaranteed to leak with his build. The Shadow Dancers, I mean, they're certainly doing work. There's still moles alive, by the way.
Look at Atrocity, though. No. Look at Atrocity.
Atrocity's
sending Ogre.
done very, very well. He will leak the Ogre. 98%, 25 gold shot down, but Indahole on the mole with the hold.
Is he?
I mean, that's
Is
a
it one
solitary
unit left?
dragon, right? It's not like hiding
Yeah.
dragon twins underneath.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And here comes the double Kraken. All right. Okay, I was a bit worried there for a second for Chaos Chemists, but in the hole with the clutch hold is able to bring this game right back into control.
You saved it. All right. Wow. What a swingy, like a semi-swing. Like into hole and Atrocity should have been in the driver's seat with no worries. Then we had a little bit of an oopsie where we after income sent on 15 and didn't break our opponent. However, we're right back in control despite the mole from into hole. I stole all your rhymes.
I mean, I just love it. Yeah, but I have to say, like, into hole and Atrocity with that wave 15 play kind of just baffled me because they did not need to take that risk, and that was maybe the only way they could have lost this game. But it turns out that they win anyway, right? Like, I don't see a world where Isolde and Adam survive here on 18.
No, this is it.
Yeah,
I think we can
Isolde's
safely put
leaking
this
like
one to
a
bed.
million %. I mean, Adams is doing better. His Phoenix goes down now. 150% for Isolde. Will he kill one more creep here for Adams? He will not. That's 83% leak for him. And that is all that Big Bro, Little Bro have to say about this tournament because they are out of the competition.
Victory.
Yep. I blame the rat. It just kind of kept evading Isolde. Like, you saw Adamas had it last game after rolling it. I think he rolled it 4 times. And what can you do? I mean, in such an instance.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. You can kind of see it here, right? Like, they're massively in the lead. Wave 15, they have 81% win probability. Then you get this kind of failed Wave 15 send, and it goes back to 60-40. The game is kind of even again. But yeah, like we saw, it really all comes down to this Wave 17, where in the hole, on the mole, with the hold, is able to bring the game back under control. So, pretty solid. And yeah, what could have been a disaster there with the Wave 15 failed send ends up being a victory for Atrocity and In the Hole. So, they are still not through to tomorrow's semi-finals, although it does feel like we've run a bit of a marathon so far. There is one more series yet to play today. That will be the last chance match where we will get to see Atrocity and In the Hole once more against their old nemesis, Team Sharks. So Shay and Zarks, who we did see beaten pretty handily by Fake One and Pakistan in the upper bracket, they will now have a grudge match to decide who makes it through to tomorrow's semi-final and who is out of the competition. So, I don't know about you, Seto, but I absolutely need a quick break here before we go into that last chance match, and I'm sure the players would be happy with one as well. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We will be right back in about 5-10 minutes with that next match. Until then, goodbye.
So cold.
right, welcome back everybody, welcome back. Just in time for this last chance match. Now Seto, this will be a bit of a grudge match here. And it's one that we didn't get to see the first time around, right? Because this is going to be Chaos Chemists, Atrocity, in the hole, facing off against Sharks, that's Shay, and Zarks. Now we know the first time around this went in favour of Team Sharks. They upset the number 1 seed of the tournament. Let's see, will they be able to repeat that, or will Lightning be unable to strike twice? What do you think, Seto?
I think we've been impressed by Shay and Zarks, and by kind of showing up where we didn't necessarily expect them. Maybe we might have expected to see them for the first time here at this point. However, seeing them now is a pleasure, and I think that if they had the sauce once, and we also know that our players have been doing some silly things like leaking 75% to no send on wave 3, then who knows? I mean, Magic could absolutely strike twice. It doesn't often happen, but when it does, it is all that much more magical, especially because we'll be able to witness it this time. So I am cautiously optimistic that we'll get to see some very interesting gameplay.
All right. Well, I mean, I would love to see an upset here for sure. I have to say, I think the Chaos Chemists are probably going to win. I think maybe they kind of got surprised, back-footed in the first series, but now they know what they're up against. They know how Sharks like to play. I think it's going to be that much harder for Sharks to make the same thing work twice, right? So, but look, we'll have to see. They played pretty well the series we saw them up against the worst moles, but one slip up, not taking that all-out assault, proved to be fatal for them in that series. And they're certainly playing at a level now against, teams like the worst moles, like the Chaos Chemists, where you just can't afford a single mistake, right? Because the other team won't be making one. So I don't know. It's gonna be difficult. It's not impossible. In fact, we've seen them do it already today. They beat the Chaos Chemists 2-1 in the first series. They do have it in them. I just think the odds are against them. Probably, if I had to call it, I'd say like 75% in favour of the Chaos Chemists. So I'm quite confident. It might even be a 2-0. But I would be very, very happy to be surprised. I would love to see the underdogs come good and take the series. I just don't think it's going to happen. So my head is with Chaos Chemists. My heart is with Team Sharks. And we'll have to see which prevails. It looks like the players are ready. So we should be able to get into this last chance match without any further ado. How about you, Seto? How are you feeling? Head and heart.
Head and heart, it's going to be similar but different. I see an 80% chance of a 2-0, a 69% chance of a 2-1, and a 50% chance, a 33%, 50, 33, which, anyway, 33% chance of Shay and Zarks being able to actually, pull it out here some way, somehow. Does that, in the end, math? No, because I started with 80%, just Atrocity and the whole winning.
The NA education strikes again. I've just been told that one of the players needs a couple of extra minutes, so we do once again have more time to pad, which, as we all know, is our favourite, Seto. So, what do you want to talk about? How's the weather over there?
So the weather was shockingly mild almost all year long. We had good rain to start off the year, which was great for my tomatoes. I've been just enjoying the hell out of them all year in my fresh, sandy New Jersey soil. But, the stuff at the beginning of the year pretty much all died because we planted everything before the last frost and we got hit with a surprise one. But, how about you? Weather?
Devastating. Weather here, it's fine. We had a hot summer and now we've got a pretty mild autumn. But now that the weather reports are over, the last chance match is here. Phew! Let's go!
Old people talk about the weather.
Yeah. Me and Seto on our rocking chairs on the porch, enjoying retirement together. And we've got 700 or so viewers enjoying our retirement with us. Hooray!
I hope their weather is lovely too. So Stash is pretty cool to Megamind into because that's a pretty strong mastermind, in my opinion. Anyway,
Yeah, that's a great Megamind pick, and also I really like his role.
why is that bone like that?
Why is it like this? If
You
it's in
told me this.
Atrocity's lane, I'm going to trust that the answer is because that's the perfect positioning. Like, this guy is just a sandbox machine. This is the guy
No,
who,
he's-
like, will work out the exact grid reference position to have perfect aggro on every wave.
He's doing the math now. You saw his cursor go across the screen.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, that is correct. Oh no, I hate it. The Lumerian, I'm a big fan of seeing it so much today because I don't have to lose games with it. I can watch other people do it. But it's been pretty good, I think, so far.
I think it's great. I think it's a really strong unit. Meanwhile, Zarx, he's playing Fiesta again, does not get snailed, and he has the Pixie opener, so pretty much the BIS opener for a Fiesta player.
Is Atrocity doing it? Is he going to hold? I think he's going to hold.
Yeah, of course he's going to hold, man. This is Atrocity's, like, pixel perfect grid reference positioning.
That's
Yeah.
so disgusting.
Look at
I
that.
love him so much.
Like, the Fire Archer probably went sub 10 HP here, but he knows what he's doing.
All right. So we have enough to put down 2 more skeletons for Atrocity.
He is
What does he
getting
do?
snailed. In fact, Zarx can double snail if he wants to. I think. And double snail could be devastating. Atrocity went for 6 workers. He's playing quite greedy.
We
Yeah,
get
there's
it.
the second
2
snail.
snails.
Alright, is perfect positioning enough for you to hold a 40 send, Atrocity? Let's find out. I mean, his split tanking is pretty much perfect. Holy.
What a beast.
Alright, well, is perfect positioning enough to hold a 40 send? Turns out, yes. Yes, it is.
All right.
Meanwhile,
Well,
Zarx gets a very good Fiesta, leaking just 4 creeps against the snail send, so he's pretty happy with that one.
yeah, so we push now, or we've been pushed. Everyone's 6 workers. We're looking at A7. No, Atrocity not knowing what the next move is, aside from upping the Crusher.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Upping the Eternal Wanderer.
Ooh, won't that ruin his Fire Archer aggro?
So his other bone is way below, so I think this might be kind of the repositioning where it tanks just enough now.
Well, we're about to find out. I'm kind of worried that the Samurai's just... Yeah, like, his Fire Archer's tanking very little now. Huh. What looked like absolutely perfect aggro on 2 is kind of just bad here on 3, straight up. Like, he's going to hold, right? He received a single snail, but the aggro share is just nowhere near as impressive as it was on Wave 2. Meanwhile, a pretty bad leak here from Zarx. What is that, 70%-ish?
Yep. And his Lumerian is not going to be able to do the save. It focused the DT right away, which is kind of unfortunate. But I don't think it matters that much. I think Jules agrees with me. It was unfortunate as a leak, but we still have the Mythium from both of these Glor Pixies.
Mhm.
So at least we're not holding with those units. Feeding the cats. Atrocity, yeah, I think Atrocity is struggling a little bit to know what the next move is.
Oh, he's even building further up. Like, does he not want his Fire Archer to tank at all?
Guess not. He also hasn't pushed So last wave he received a snail, didn't push. I think that's fine, especially because he is getting saved here.
Yeah.
So he might need that little bit of extra green devil damage to maybe kill the boss and save his archer next.
And here's the thing, right? The Fiesta player, sure he leaks. Does he kill the turtle? No. Okay,
No.
that's unfortunate. 2 hit points on that turtle. But he's not under pressure, and Team Sharks are doing what Team Sharks does best, which is this early game like giga pressure play. They have 140 Mythium nearly on Zarks, and I don't think they'll send here on 5. They won't. Okay. This is looking pretty dangerous now for Atrocity and Interhole. Like, when do we think it's going to be? Is it going to be a wave 6 send? They could... No, I don't think they can go 7. The reason why they can't go 7 is because Atrocity and Interhole didn't fall into the trap of going for a wave 5 send here. Like, I think if they do, they probably seal their own fate on 7.
Yeah, very possibly. But, you know, Atrocity is doing a bit of saving on his own. He does now have the 140, so he could probably squeeze out that 160 for wave 6 if he wants to.
And Interhole, he's sending full as well. So now Team Sharks have to send here on 6. If they don't, they're dead. And they do. Okay. So we've got that Mimic Robo pretty solid here into Atrocity's lane, I have to say. Atrocity can sell a bone for a Berserker, so pretty good answer to wave 6. And he does.
Oh, speaking of good answers for 6, Shay has got a lot of Swift here.
Pack leader, though, from Shay? Like, is that a misclick? Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Alright, 220 Mythium here for Atrocity, 180 Mythium for Interhole. Shay not far behind. Zark's receiving by far the baby send, but he has kind of garbage value with the Pixies. That's going to be a big leak for him as well. Let's see, will the Mimic snack? It does kill the Berserker. It is clearing up, but Atrocity's done relatively well regardless. And yeah, the Pack Leader send, which did make me question existence. I mean, sure, Interhole leaks, but he leaks a very low HP Pack Leader and nothing else. Meanwhile, Shay and Zarks, they both leak pretty badly as well. So what should have been their kind of massive play here on 6 actually ends up being, like, what, a fairly even trade?
I would argue fairly even. Atrocity and Interhole actually, you know, probably benefit a little bit more just because they had that extra wave of slightly higher income. Like Shay and Zarks will be able to start to get it back now since they're sitting on 12 and 11 workers, but I think Interhole could have fully held if they had repositioned this Chain Fist up a square or even half even split with their Pipsqueak. The unfortunate thing is they died very quickly, and the Oathbreaker didn't pop until late into the wave. But overall, I'm going to say pretty good trade there. So your heart is still looking like, you know, it's got good information inside of it. It's beating
my
to the
heart
beat.
is still feeling pretty healthy, yeah, which is not something to be sniffed at for a man my age.
But Zark's here, so he's not leaking, obviously, and he's not getting Chlora Pixie value here. But he can now possibly Giga Push if he wanted to. Interhole, of course, could Giga Push as kind of like the return favor. They're also pretty good the next couple waves, but Zarks might get some false confidence here if they believe too heavily in their canopy.
They're very low workers on the side of Chaos Chemists.
Yep, Interhole might even need to Giga Push.
Shay has that gate, right? Like, he's looking really weak on 9, but gate is pretty broken there.
Yep, usually a pretty good unit there, unless they're not able to really get off all their spawns or it just gets overwhelmed.
Oh, is this wave going to be long enough for Shay to get to 4 Eyes? I think it will. And I think 4 Eyes is really good into Interhole's lane. Like, it's a very good answer to the Final Form Oathbreaker.
Mhm.
There's that 240. Will we see the Four Eyes? No! He goes Ogre Robo? Huh?
But Ogre seems bad today. Ogre makes perfect sense, of course, into this unit here, but so does Four Eyes. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
really liked the Four Eyes, actually. I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe the Ogre can cook. Now, Interhole is income sending into Zark, so Zark should be able to hold. The full send is into Shay, who does have that gate. Still expecting him to leak, though. But with both members of Chaos Chemist receiving a 280 Mythium send here on 9, these are the ways we need to watch. The Ogre is now life-stealing, but it dies. And the Lumerian, I mean, that is just fantastic value there. It keeps healing, in fact. This is just a hold. Wow. Okay. In the hole. Impressive stuff.
Into hold.
In the hole with the hold. No mole.
Ooh.
Game's starting to slip out of control for Sharks. Into hole on a roll. Really starting to look a bit scary, actually, for Team Sharks. I mean, the current win probability is heavily in their favour. I do expect that to change.
Yeah, this is so actually this is almost a repeat. Let's go to the Legion spells really quickly. We see the lesser PTA. It's not as impactful as AOA. However, it's that or possibly an embargo, which would still be very aggressive. Probably not the right move, but that would be like one of those flippy floppy kind of decisions. But
Yeah.
yes, we're almost approaching that time where we need to win now, or else we failed ourselves.
Yeah. Well, Chaos Chemists still haven't quite closed that worker gap. So it's not over, but I really like the position that Chaos Chemists are in right now, I have to say.
Yep. Well, so Shay and Zark so far. Zark's has 800 Mythium, whereas the next closest is Shay at 750 Mythium this game.
That's a
100
nice
under
fiesta
that.
for Zarks. That's a very nice fiesta for Zarks. Both Pixies dying. Long wave. Saving Mythium. He's on fire, actually.
Yep. Yeah, despite Shay getting hit for that extra cartel gold and being at 110 value.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Let's see if they do decide to go for the aggressive spell. Now remember, this is when we saw them going all in and then not going all in. Made me quite cross in the previous game. So I like to see them take the aggressive spell here.
Shay might even do Zarks the favor of leaking just a little bit here. Zarks is pretty good there with the APS Dread Knight or Shadow Dancer at this point, with their good tank value. But
Shay is very undervalued, actually.
Yep, but the no send might be enough time for these gates to do what they need to do here. Zarks did get a little bit of an income send here.
Yeah, and that just kind of extends the wave a little bit. And here comes that wave 12 send. So let's see, Seto, will this one work out better for them than in the previous game we watched, where the failure to take the AOA was devastating for them? This time around, they did learn from their mistakes. They have picked the aggressive spell. Will they be rewarded here with the victory in the crucial Game 1 of the Last Chance match?
Into Hold just stashed for 170 gold here. That is absolutely the correct call. They do have some beautiful units here. They do have a good amount of fortified tanks. The gun, a full gun that was unexpected for Into Hole.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. He's basically on value. I mean, Atrocity's going to leak huge, though. And yeah, of course, with no like siege ram into this Gatling gun, he's just destroying the wave. I mean, that's an easy hold. It's not even close.
Easy hold. Nope.
In the hole, with the gold from the stash, making it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
Atrocity, though, that's 115% leak. So, I mean, in the hole, he's in a fantastic position, but Atrocity is already at the bottom of the power score, and leaking 100% plus is not going to help him. Zarx is going to get a huge amount of gold from this as well. They're even going to take a bit of king damage. No, wait, the Lumerian's going to easily hold this, right?
Yep.
I thought that was a little one, but no, it's a very juiced up Lumerian. And look, the game is right back to 50-50. Crazy.
So the game is back to 50-50. Into Hole and Atrocity have survived the early game. I anticipate that the pendulum is going to swing just a little bit more every wave as that king starts to regen, the income starts to stabilize. Shay was in the lead for a long time there. They still have 300 and 400 more Mythium than their opponents for Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that value still exists in income in other places, but it was.
They still have a significant income lead. They still have a pretty juicy worker lead as well. And what's more is in the hole, he can't stash again. So the surprise hold there on 12 with the Gatling gun coming out of thin air, that's a trick he can only use once. Now he kind of has to play honest from here on out. And they're going for a 14 send. Okay. I mean, in the hole, he's shifted 200 gold here. So he should be fine. I am worried for Atrocity, though. I think Atrocity's going to take a little trip to Troubletown.
Yeah. Yep, Troubletown is definitely having a new visitor today for certain.
The question is, can Shay and Zarx hold, though? Sorry to... Because don't they just die?
Well, yes. There's no ramping time for these Sky Queens or these gates. And these are pack leaders coming in just to clean everything up.
They have no king upgrades. They cannot afford to leak here. Like, the sends they receive are quite small. But the Dread Knights are already dying. Like, the first one is dead now. The second one, he won't be far behind, and Shay just has no chance. Shay leaks 99%. I mean, sure, Atrocity, he leaks 130, but in the hole, once again, with the hold, and Zarx leaks 76. They're dead. They have no king upgrades. They can't survive this. Huh.
Correct. I really like Shay and Zarx playing together with their aggression.
Yeah.
I feel like they're so close to tipping the scales. They literally just need the Butcher to put their thumb on the scale for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a little bit unfortunate, I think. They actually played it pretty well. I like that they took the aggressive spell. I don't know. It just didn't work out for them. That's just the power of stash, right? So, by all rights, they should have won the game there on 12. But in the hole, just press the give me 300 gold button. And yeah, then he holds. He gets a Vulcan cannon out of nowhere. And he holds and he covers, and they take very little king damage. And yeah, they turn the game around. And this is another one where they were massively behind. I think, again, it was like 80% on the old Julesometer. And Stash just breaks that wide open. So Enderhole is able to pull off a miracle hold with that Vulcan cannon. And from there on out, well, Shay and Zarx are just dead. Like, they had a shared weak wave there on 14. Neither of them really had a good unit to hold wave 14. And even though they were able to send way more Mythium, even though they had more income and all the rest of it, it wasn't enough. Like, it kind of came down to the rolls in the end. I even think, even with, like, in the holes, Miracle Wave 12 hold, if one of them had a good Wave 14 unit, like, you know, a Doomsday, or even a Badger, right? Because, like, Shay had a lot of ramping damage, so if he just had some really good tank value, maybe that would have been enough. But it wasn't to be, and the Chaos Chemists are 1-0 now in this last chance match. So remember, if they win the next one, Atrocity in the Hole, they are guaranteed into the semi-finals, and Shay and Zarks will be out of the tournament, which I have to say would be a bit disappointing at this stage, because we've seen our underdogs play pretty well, I think it's fair to say. Like, they gave the worst moles a run for their money. They beat the first seed in the first series, and they played really well here as well, so I don't know. I'd at least like them to take it to a game 3, Seto. What do you think?
I would like them to take it to a game 3. I think that they have the tools, and especially because they lost there, to do that again and do it. I can't say, it's hard for me to say better because I already think they're playing it really well. Like every game they're getting out. Their opponents have 8-9 workers. Meanwhile, they've got 12-13, and they hold on to that early game lead and they do really good things with it. But things like Stash break the game for them. In this case, Atrocity and In a Hole still have Kingsguard as an option, or some other defensive spell if they wanted to. So it's very difficult now that their master plan has kind of been unveiled for them to be able to find their way just over. And that's it. They are rolling that ball up, and it's just not able to get over the hill.
Yeah.
They need just that little bit more momentum, that small push.
Yep. Well, let's see. Can they get that extra little tiny tad of momentum here in Game 2? This is all or nothing for them here, Seto, because remember, if Shay and Zarks lose now, their tournament is over. So, with everything to play for, let's see. Game number 2. Oh, and In the Hole. Picking Stash this time around. Now, that's fine, obviously. Conquest rules mean you can't choose a mastermind twice once you've won with it. It's gone from your roster. But last game he was Megamind. So he Megaminded Stash. It won them the game. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, that Stash usage on 12 won them the game. And he kind of likes what he saw, so he's picking it again this time around.
So this time, I think one of the big hurdles that Shay and Zarks have been facing is that Wave 10 Cartel fall off. Shay this time now has the option to just give himself the perfect roll. So I guess that's the adaptation. I think it makes a lot of sense. We also don't see a super aggressive Legion spell. So we can't afford to fall off, I think, and hope for one final bullet in the chamber. Like we need to, if we're not going to win in the early game, we need an option to get us past the late game.
Right.
I'm also not a big fan of Gate Guard with Chaos because that could be very spooky on Wave 2.
Yeah, it needs like an 80 gold unit in the reroll. And he can go for a looter, a pack rat. That should be fine. Zarks with a nice Fiesta there, just leaking 2 creeps.
So the difference there, of course, being that 5 worker start for Atrocity and In a Hole meant that they got that income snail before the wave ended, whereas Shay and Zarks did not. Despite being Fiesta, they were unable to start with that 5 workers, and those couple seconds really make the difference sometimes. I wonder why Shay hasn't re-rolled his the roll he started with. Is he going for an Orchid on 3, or
Orchid, Bone Crusher,
bone?
even Fire Launcher, like pretty solid options. Zark's leaking 50, not ideal.
Nope, he's had better wave 2s this series.
But he didn't have like a 50 gold unit to add, right? So something like a Buckler would have been ideal, but all he could add was more polys, which are pretty terrible on wave 2.
He did full push, and he's building nothing this wave, so believing in the polys and the Seraphim here. I think that's fine.
I mean, he's leaking. I don't know how badly, but he will be leaking. The important thing is that these polys on the left just effectively do nothing.
Mhm.
I guess it's tanking, so it is tank value, but they do 0 damage, right? Because the Seraphine's two-shotting the wave anyway. Yeah, 67%. So kind of dead value there, the polys on the left, and 67% to a snail is like, sure, you're Fiesta, but that's a lot of value given to your opponents for effectively nothing.
Mhm. All right, we do see a Robo come out and some imps from Zarks.
Right.
I think they'll do pretty good.
I mean, Atrocity does already have Serpent, and he gets the Devilfish as well, like the perfect wave 4 tank. Come on, Jules. Like we know you want the Chaos Chemists to win. We get it. Try to make it less obvious.
The Rats and Swift are also very fortunate that he was able to put those down earlier. Obviously, Atrocity had gotten a copy of the script early and predicted this.
The imps do provide much needed damage against those swift tanks. Gateguard does get off the third dog, so good value. He is able to kill one of the imps as well. They will both leak, actually, but it's just not as bad as it could have been, right? 41% there for Atrocity, and in the hole, killing everything but one Robo and basically a tickle of a chicken. So,
the position is basically even here, it looks like. Like, Zarks does have some total Mythium advantage, but otherwise, pretty close to even.
And here we have the Chaos Chemist going for a full send on 5, like correctly reading that their opponents are both quite undervalued. Although Zarks has this Mudman in his role. So now he has double Seraphine for DPS, Hardened Mudman for tank value, and I think Zarks may just hold here.
Yep, the magic damage is not really ideal, but the hidden Hardened Mudman we couldn't have predicted, so pretty good read here from Zarks.
Yeah, his Seraphine's perfectly tanking the boss, won't go down. Yeah, really, really good tank value there. And he's just cleaning up the wave. He may yet leak a Robo or two, but a pretty solid performance. However, Shay is getting demolished. 61% for Shay, 58% for Zarks. Oh, he didn't kill this one, that's unfortunate. And yeah, their big play on wave 4 dealt 19% king damage. I feel like they're taking way more than that here on 5.
Oh, for certain. That Brute, again, that 2% damage, like it feels like an insult or attack speed debuff, but it's really impactful.
And yeah, they lost half of their king's HP to that wave 5, so this game is looking pretty rough for the Sharks.
Yep. Kind of unfortunate, but the good news is Atrocity has an atrocious tier 1 board right now, and a Mimic on 7 could do some work.
Yeah, they do have a decent chunk of Mythium.
Shay kind of almost Sui pushing there to 9 workers. Obviously not really, but they are pretty strong the next couple waves as long as no brutes or anything going into them.
And Shay is making the wave long enough that Zarks can send that Mimic if he wants to. But they save. Okay, but so do the Chaos Chemists. Alright, this is interesting.
Yep. Zarks there pushed a worker, I believe, as well.
Water
or were
Beast.
they already on 8?
Yeah, the only thing he added here was this this Wild Shroom, so he must have pushed.
Well, I am getting concerned. This game is going to be interesting, and it's going to be interesting on It looks like it could be a Wave 8. Wave 8 makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean Shay's like entering Ghost Knight territory if that's what he wants to go for.
Oh, he's in Ghost Knight territory. He's standing at the border, and he's just crossed the line.
Oh, meanwhile we have a mole coming out from Zarks. And
Very
just
nice.
an income send from Atrocity and in the hole. And no Ghost Knight from Shay. I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, okay. He reads the fully boosted Orchid from in the hole. And he just goes with the Dragon Turtles instead. Which, yeah, fine. You're going to tank the Shurikens. Yeah, I can see it, actually. I think it's a pretty good send. Maybe even better than Ghost Knight.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's got no damage.
Yeah. Here we have it, Seto. 240, 260. Pretty significant Mythium counts here on Wave 8. The Priestess going down under the deadly gaze of the mole. And only a Deep Coiler now surviving to tank the rest of the wave. But in the hole there with the boosted Orchid, making it look easy. 61% for Atrocity. Full hold once again for In the Hole. I mean, this guy is on a bit of a roll so far on the stream today, right? Like, we've seen him with hold after hold after hold, proving why he is rank 1 on the ladder right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely from what I've noticed is when he plays Stash, there really just isn't anyone who can match, so pretty impressive for him. And what rhymes with Stash and match?
Well, just the way he uses that cash, you know, like in a flash, to get the unit that he needs to get himself out of a rash.
Very nice.
Thank you, thank you. Sometimes Seto and I just cast to each other. Like, we forget that there's an audience.
We don't need no audience. For the love of the game.
Alright, there was a bit of a full resend here into Shay, who stayed plus 15 value, so he should be okay. Yeah,
So he just put down that Butcher, and he put it down a little bit funny.
Oh, he did, yeah. Shay, what? Huh. Oh, and Zarks leaks to the Fiend. Oh, no.
Yep. That feels really bad because Cat actually does okay on Butcher. Not as great as Buckler, or not a Buckler, Oathbreaker.
Yeah, but it's like a 7-stack Cat, right? I think giving that lifesteal might be a good idea. Yeah. Like, it may be a better idea. It's only a 5-stack Cat, but still, giving it lifesteal might be a better idea than block building your Butcher, so you now can't use the aura properly. I'm not sure. Like, maybe someone in the chat can run the math for me on that one. But I think lifesteal might be better than no lifesteal.
Oh, Zarks and Shay have just now noticed the Butcher is goofy.
Yeah.
Feels so bad.
It does feel bad. They are going for yet another full send here on 10, but I think it's a bit cope. I think like Atrocity's on value, In the Hole's on value, and yeah, this game's looking rough. In fact, the Mimic's even getting insta-sniped here in Atrocity's lane.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It is desperation gaming just now. And here's the deal. Like, these players don't need a Julesometer to have a pretty good idea of what's happening in the game.
Yeah, they know this one is slipping out of their control, I think.
Yep.
Oh, this is actually maybe the most one-sided game we've had on stream all day. It's a shame to have it so one-sided in the actual last game of the entire show. Because remember when Zarks and Shay lose here, and barring a miracle, they will lose here. That's the end of their tournament journey, right? So it is a little bit unfortunate. They have played it very well so far. But they need to pray to whatever god they believe in if they want to turn this game around.
Yep. Yep. Like, In the Hole still has Stash. Like, that's how bad of a shape they're in for us to be saying like this. Oh no, and this hero. Oh, we even had hero for the Doppel Butcher. Oh, it could have been so good.
He could have been a contender. He could have been somebody.
He's got no heart, kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do they need to do from this position, Seto? How does Shay and Zarks pull this one back from the brink?
Jules could DDoS Atrocity this time instead of Zarks. And that would be helpful. That's a good start, because...
And they deny the pause because they're BM.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Exactly.
I mean, they're even losing, like, what little King HP they have left to a no-send.
Mm-hmm.
Into hole on Defire, 75 gold shutdown there, 50 on into hole as well. Sorry, it was Atrocity who's on the 75 gold. Huh. I mean, I just don't know where they can go from here. They're behind in every metric that counts. They're way behind in value. They're behind in income. They're significantly behind in King HP and upgrades. This game is looking super rough.
Yep. I can't even say prepare for next game, because there is not a next game if they don't do this one. So we are seeing the sends now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do? We hold. That is what we need to do. Shane Zarks, this is your chance to... Yeah.
Huh.
I definitely want to see how this doppelganger does. It does not have a lot of tank value in front of it.
No.
It does not have a lot of good tank value in front of it. So, oh, nice. We do like that. Yeah. Dark mages are good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be good enough, though. He's
No.
minus 500 value here, with a partially wasted hero aura. But at least his teammate's only 490 value under.
That is a plus, yep. They were Fiesta. They're ready to hold for their mate. Unfortunately, they do have a gun. They do have the Warp Wing, which is nice, with the APS. But we also have them Four Eyes as being kind of a menace.
Yeah, the Doppel, strangely, is not holding. So that's going to be
What?
a 100% leak for Sharks, 137 for Shay, and that is their tournament journey over. So Sharks, I mean, they played it pretty well in every game apart from this one, I think it's fair to say. But unfortunately, their tournament journey is now over. So Chaos Chemists, they have secured their place in tomorrow's semi-final, where they will be joining the Worst Moles, who of course made it through the upper bracket match. So very, very well played to all of our teams today. And a massive thank you to yourself as well, Seto, for some excellent rhyming commentary. I've enjoyed it very, very much. A pleasure, as always. What do you think about today's games?
So we saw a lot of really good gameplay. We had questions coming into today. We had Mole questions, we had Ogre questions, we had Lumerian questions. Most of those questions got answered. I think I'm still on the fence about Mole, and I think we just don't have a good impact answer right now in the game. That might be where I'm landing. That might be the answer, is it's good, but it's not good enough. Stacking the moles, it never seemed to really be as effective as I kind of thought it would be after watching Fine go crazy in the sandbox. But, you know, what can you do? I learned a lot. I was entertained. I hope I was entertaining, but...
I
What a
found you
day.
entertaining. I can't promise Twitch chat found either of us entertaining, but I enjoyed
Maybe
it a
I've been
lot.
bored.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Look, in our rocking chairs here, discussing the weather and maybe talking about the occasional game of Legion while we're at it. Why not?
Yeah. No, the sun is just gorgeous today. Just like that nice cloud cover. Oh,
Nice.
Lovely.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, that is all that we have time for here today on the show. We hope you've enjoyed the games. They've been pretty entertaining, at least from where we've been sitting. Make sure you are back here tomorrow, same time, where we will have the final stage. So those semi-finals and of course the all-important grand final. So make sure you are there because tomorrow's games promise to be very, very fun indeed. So until tomorrow, guys, for now, goodbye. And they can have Do You Believe?
That was